Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly, what is it, narrator? Storyteller? Game master? I don't know. Chronicler of Nemedia, I think, is really the thing they missed out on this game. Because, see, today, we are playing a very special charity one-shot, taking out, once again, Modiphius Entertainment's Conan, Adventures in an Age Undreamed Of, for a spin. And if you're not familiar, this is the most recent edition of the Conan game. Was successfully kickstarted a couple of years back. There's a number of us who like this game enough that, yeah, we're all sporting the very fancy Phoenix on the sword versions, the limited edition, but I realize no one would know what book I'm holding up if I didn't hold up the regular one. And today, this session today is brought to you by a very generous donation to the Heroes Save Villages charity campaign that we run on the channel by our very own Dave Fortier. So, Dave, thank you so much for your generosity. I deeply appreciate your support of the Heroes Save Villages campaign, and I hope we have a lot of fun getting you guys into trouble today. As is always the case with these charity sessions, Dave has made the selection of game and who he's playing with, too. So if you have complaints about the people we have playing with today, you have Dave to blame for that. So let's talk about our heroes that we have today. Our adventure, of course, will take place in an age undreamed of. Dave, who are you playing today?
I am playing Elric. He is a Brythunian mercenary who's been working in Aquilonia for some time and has come somehow to the attention of King Conan.
Nice. And I'll go the order. Otherwise, I've got you guys on the screen here. George, who are you playing today?
I am playing Aurelia of Mitra, who is a priestess from the most civilized lands of Hyperborea, Aquilonia, who is driven to fulfill her destiny, whatever it is that Mitra decrees she must do.
Nice. Next up, we have Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen, and I am playing Sir Varys, a proud and noble knight of Aquilonia, devoted to King and Mitra, and perhaps even a little bit his own ambition, because he is a knight and a noble and all that sort of stuff. But he's going to be I think he's going to be our muscle for much of the, well, Eric might be able to do a little bit of muscle power too. We'll see.
And last but not least is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and today I'm playing Sargus the Spider. He is a Zamoran spy who is in the employ of King Conan.
Nice.
Spying, I guess he's in Aquilonia?
He is in the border. We'll see where everyone is in a moment here. But first, I cannot think of a better way to start our session off than with the prelude from the first published Conan story. So, if you guys will indulge me, know, O Prince, that between the years when the oceans drank Atlantis and the gleaming cities and the years of the rise of the sons of Arius, there was an age undreamed of, when shining kingdoms lay spread across the world like blue mantles beneath the stars. Nemedia, Ophir, Brithunia, Hyperborea, Zamora with its dark-haired women and towers of spider-haunted mystery. Zingara with its chivalry, Koth that bordered on the pastoral lands of Shem, Stygia with its shadow-guarded tombs, Hyrcania, whose riders wore steel and silk and gold. But the proudest kingdom of the world was Aquilonia, reigning supreme in the dreaming west. Hither came Conan the Cimmerian, black-haired, sullen-eyed, sword in hand, a thief, a reaver, a slayer with gigantic melancholies and gigantic mirth, to tread the jeweled thrones of the earth under his sandaled feet. This is where we are starting our session, guys. Now, the scene opens with two figures riding through. Let's kick off our music again. And bring you guys over here. So this ramshackle town is where we see two figures riding in. One, a slender form wearing a cloak concealing her features and any other way of distinguishing this figure as anything other than a boy or a woman. But next, with full armor and weaponry exposed to the elements, we see Servarus riding along. In white lettering, we would see the name Bauska. Here, I'll put it in the chat. Bauska, the Border Kingdom. And as you guys are riding along, we can see the roads are soaked with mud, torn apart by the marching of countless armies up and down this road, on going to and coming from campaign. There are signs of burned out houses that were never rebuilt as you're going in, and there are gibbets, I guess, with skeletons remaining from some forgotten prisoner, from some forgotten offense, from some forgotten king. And as you're riding in, you can see that this town has recently been through a bit of the same internal strife or same war that seems to never end in the Border Kingdom. Servarus and Aurelia, of course, are not from here. Why don't you guys... Let's see here. Let's get some dice rolling and get some momentum in that pool. So, why don't we let's see here. I think lore is what I'm looking for. Why don't you each give me a lore check? And, I also need to get my Doom pool together.
You can hold off on the Doom pool for a while.
Doom! Now, I start with, is it that I get 1 point for each character, or 2 points?
You get
I think
as
it's
many
1.
points as we have fortune points total.
Oh, right, that's right.
Oh, so I have 12 Doom?
Yeah.
Well, I only have 2 fortunes, so I think 11.
Oh, 11 Doom.
Somebody spent up on my character creation.
Someone may not have been paying attention carefully enough. And all he
Well, they
saw
should,
was like,
because it's-
ooh, new stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I have 12 Doom points. Let's put that down here. I want to use tokens, but I forgot to grab them beforehand. So, when we played in person, I had blood red tokens for my Doom pool. It was awesome.
Nice.
And the actually, it was Greg, Greg from Sentry Box, Greg, who used to play on the channel too, before fucking COVID. Greg got me all those tokens from what do you call it? From like leftovers. Anyway, so you go riding in. Why don't you give me checks, please? And you guys can, of course, give me more Doom if you want extra points.
I think you have enough for the moment.
Is there such a thing?
I got zip.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna test lore with no doom added.
Okay. One.
Hey!
And a complication.
And a complication.
Yes. I'm gonna convert that into Doom. So,
Nice.
where did I put my second Doom dice? Here we go.
That's one of my favorite things about that game. When I'm running it.
We had the first time we ran it too. I let my Doom the Doom pool pile up until they had the big fight with the big boss. I had like 30 Doom. It made for a really great fight.
That
Okay.
giant tentacled beast in the pit.
No, this was the first time I ran it was for the gaming marathon. And we had it was they fought a shit ton of ghouls, and then there was finally a ghoul king that came up, and he was very scary. All right, so Servarus, you have been to Bauska before. What you guys know, both of you, Aurelia and Servarus, is that this what do you call it? This place is like a lot of the towns here, where there is, at best, there's sort of like jumped up warlords who maybe keep a patch of land and a keep for a generation, and then it falls to someone else. This land is rife with mercenaries, scoundrels, political machinations between Numidia and Aquilonia, and also for outlaws or for renegades who are trying to hide. as well too. Someone who's pissed someone off in their home country, Border Kingdoms is a pretty good place to get yourself lost. But that's not what brings you here. What brings you here is a quest, not only from your king, King Conan, but also by virtue of a vision that you've had, Aurelia. Now, normally, priests of Mitra generally aren't sorcerers. They're a bit of an outlier for a lot of the priests. They don't generally truck in that stuff because their god sees it as anathema. There are outliers for that, and Aurelia is one of those rare outliers, born with the birthmark, the symbol of the phoenix, the symbol of the creature that ever watches over Epimetheus, I think Epimetheus.
Epimetheus, yeah.
Epimetheus, the sage that really helped found the Church of Mitra. And as I said, you've had a vision of what a shadow that's fallen over here. What you guys have known about is what at this point in Conan's history, he has become king by his own hand. However, that was not done without strife. He, not only did he kill the former king, there's also tons of scheming nobles left over in Aquilonia that really wanted still a piece of him and still could think that they could, in the chaos of the change from one king to another, that they could somehow seize, control again. One such noble was someone named Count Salero. And Count Salero was apparently, I'll put in chat for you as well too. Salero was from an old Aquilonian family. He seemed to think that he would be able to put together something to defeat Conan. And by way of sort of, distant generations, Salero had at least enough of a patina of a claim to the throne that other nobles who may be looking for an excuse to throw behind may say, oh, this is why that. So Conan wanted him brought before him. However, Count Salero has fled. And apparently he had fled to the Border Kingdom roughly about a year ago. Not a surprise, there's tons of traitorous Aquilonian nobles here and further south too, in the lands south of the River Styx. This is where Sargus has come in. Sargus the Spider, the Zamoran, is, for some reason, utterly trusted by King Conan. And he sent him and Aelric on the task of finding where Salero is. Now the trouble is, Conan, while there may be some in the court who want Salero just assassinated, Conan doesn't work that way. What Conan wants is Salero brought before him to kneel, to prove to the Aquilonian nobility he is king, and he alone. This is before the time of the Phoenix and the Sword. This is before the discontent. This is when the rose has not come off of Conan's kingship's bloom, or the rose that is King Conan's thing. So, when you guys were in court, Aurelia, Servaris, you had an opportunity to meet with Prospero, his favored knight, and King Conan's favored knight, with Publius, the seneschal that acts for the king as well, and to hear some of the strummings of what's his name? Ronaldo, thank you. I had it in my notes here. Ronaldo has been composing songs against Count Salero. So there is sort of already a propaganda kind of element that's going on here. Ronaldo is, of course, Conan's favored minstrel at this point. And what you guys have, first Sargus and Alaric, you were sent out. You guys did not know each other before, but King Conan spoke well of Sargus, and Prospero particularly spoke well Conan spoke well of Alaric as well too. So you two were sent off. We can only imagine what adventures you've had over the last year, but you found him, and you know where he is. And strangely, when word came back that you located where he is, that was the time that word came from the High Priest of Mitra that this priestess, this young woman, was having visions of a shadow coming from the north. And you don't... What you know, Aurelia, is that this dream, you've had the name Solero haunting your mind, you know, and in your dreams, the voices that bring your oracular visions. Now you can obviously try and bring those things on directly by using your sorcery to try and discern information and answers and things like that. But often it comes unbidden. So you will find that sometimes these visions just come to you. And what you have been dreaming of is this palace of nightmares. This dark, strange, unnatural, or so unknown architecture place, sunk in a swamp, surrounded by a miasma of disgusting fetid water. This dark place, you have walked its empty halls in the night, in your mind. And you know that there is a shadow coming, and the name Solero keeps coming to you. And is so excited she's chasing her tail. Goofball. So that's what brought you to court. And then Sir Varus, you saved Sir Prospero's life at some key battle in the fight for the throne, or the war for the throne. So he's always had sort of an eye out for you, and that's why you've been brought in on this. Sir Prospero has given King Conan full assurance that you can bring Aurelia. And Aurelia, you have not really traveled. You've had your entire life in the priesthood. You've known, and the priesthood of Mitra in a rich nation like Aquilonia, you've known nothing but pampered existence. Apart from, of course, the bedeviling and unnatural visions that come to you. But you know you need to go to this. So, when word came that you had located Count Solero, or Sargus and Alaric had, and it's at a place called Tereda. Tereda. And why don't we do this? Alaric, or Aelric, and Sargus, would you guys each give me a lore check as well, too, please? And before you do, you're welcome to give me Doom if you want to get any bonus dice for your rolls.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like Sargus is a doomed. Doom follows him around.
Love it.
So I'm
Yep.
actually gonna do it.
How much do you want? You can give me up to 3 to get a maximum of 5 dice.
Whoa.
Don't listen to him.
No, that's too much.
Okay. How many do you want? 1, 2?
Yeah, just one.
Just 1. So you're rolling 3 dice then. And my
Okay.
Doom grows. All right.
So is there a place when you hit the thing to add it, or what?
Yes.
Yeah,
It'll-
it asks you how many
Oh, I
dice.
see. Just yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
Nice.
All right. So you have Aelric. Actually, this will be Sargus then. Sargus, you have an old ally here. He's actually a Brythunian, just like Aelric, and his name is Sigaric. Sigaric has fought in many campaigns here. This is what Sigaric looks like. Sigaric has fought many campaigns in the Border Kingdom. He's one of these guys who seems to have fallen to follow the same path, sort of, that you did, Aelric, but he did not ever find a rich patron. However, what he lacked in a singular patron, he found instead in life experience in the Border Kingdom. So he's helped become kind of a guide to, you know, the machinations and whatnot. They helped, or he was particularly helpful in locating where Count Solero went. Now, where you found him in Tereda is a place called, is in a place called Tereda, ruled by a man who, well, he's called Baron Voudreau. And what you've heard about Baron Voudreau is that unlike many of the petty nobles and whatnot that may want to claim, lineage or some kind of legacy over their lands, Baron Voudreau actually can speak to a bona fide legacy dating back to the fall of Acheron. In the time lost to, or the mists lost to time, these lands were all part of the Acheronian Empire. Long gone now. I mean, there's not even many actual reminders of what fallen Acheron was like. But this guy's legacy dates back to that time. So he's a bit of a power player in the Border Kingdoms as far as things go, and it isn't surprising that Count Solero may be going there. What we see, Aurelia driven by Vision, Servaris by Task, and Aelric and Sargus. Sargus, I'm guessing, for coin? Is that why you're doing this?
I think that's his main driver, for sure.
Okay. So you for coin. And Aelric, what is it that's motivating you? Why do you obey Conan's dictates? Is it coin as well?
Personal glory.
Personal
This
glory.
is a stepping stone to achieving what I want.
Love it. Okay. So then, what we see is Servaris and Aurelia, you are riding into this very rough town in Border. Bauska has changed hands so many times over the centuries that, you'd have to ask your neighbor to double check to see who's the Lord today. So as we see you guys riding in, how's Aurelia taking in all of this carnage that she's been exposed to in the long weeks of travel through the Border Kingdom?
She had heard of the depredations and squalor of the other kingdoms, but she is shocked by the level of depravity and disgusting living conditions of these lesser nations. She just hopes that she can help bring the light of Mitra to these people and maybe help them find their way.
Okay. Servaris, what do we see on you that would remind us or would tell us that you're actually a knight of Aquilonia?
Well, aside from, of course, the full armor, and he's got lances, he's got, there's that old Russian knight image that I'm imagining where the lances are kind of in a holster behind the rider where you can reach him. And the lances all have kind of small pennants with the Mitran symbol on the pennant, and he's got a tabard with his kind of family crest on the center, and then it also has kind of a little bit of kind of wings coming out as a sort of reminder of Mitra's presence within his family history.
How maintained and clean is his armor at this point?
It is remarkably clean for the conditions they've been traveling through. He takes serious care of it.
So as you guys are riding into town, Aurelia, you're making, and tell me if I've got this wrong, but nervous eye contact with a lot of locals. Everyone is very... Servaris, you might as well be, like ringing a bell as you're walking through to draw attention. He stands out from even the more heavily armored men-at-arms and mercenaries that you see lurking around here. They seem like peasants next to the grandeur of this Knight of Aquilonia that you're riding with.
Yes, and I had a one other vision that I had was of getting pulled down into the darkness by these, these desiccated hands.
Yeah.
And then being finally pulled out of it, saved by what looked like a phoenix in a shining light, but not quite sure who that might be.
Yeah.
So this could happen at any moment, and if that person isn't there to save her, she's going to be pulled down into hell.
Okay. So yeah, and I mean the kind of they're keeping their distance from you guys, but you have a great deal of attention. And in the film version of this, we've been following you guys along too, and then you guys continue riding up towards this, what's clearly an unnamed tavern, but everyone knows it's the tavern. You are riding up towards that, and what we see is that there's a small group of men, and this is where I would dramatically gesture, take my doom, and put it back in. Because we see that there's a small group of men who kind of look up. They see their eyes track the symbol of Aquilonia. One of them whispers something to the other one. He nods, although while he's nodding, he doesn't take his eye off from where our heroes have been riding. And then the one who whispered ran off in search of who knows what. Inside the tavern, what our heroes find is a raucous collection of sword brothers and dog brothers and sword sisters, mercenaries from every nation in the Hyborian lands. And your eyes are sweeping across here, trying to determine who, where your contact is. Inside this place, where have Elric and Sargus decided to take their place?
Although it might not be the ideal spot for a night like Servaris, we're probably in somewhere that's a little on the shadowy side, maybe around the corner from the fire pit, so that it's not too bright and the two of us can sit and talk and whisper in the darkness.
Okay.
The edge of the light.
And who is keeping an eye on the door then? Elric or Sargus?
It might look like none of us is keeping an eye on the door, but we're both actually keeping an eye on the door with careful movements.
Okay.
So alternating, so we're not one person is actually staring at the door. Sure.
So word reached you that King Conan was sending not only two contacts that were going to be traveling with you to secure Count Solero. They also are bringing a bribe. Because Sargus, you managed to find a traitor in Baron Voudrow's court. He's a guy in town named Helvis. Helvis owns the town of Tereda. Tereda. Sorry, he operates the local tavern, and from your brief little bit of time there, you can tell that he is definitely not liked by the locals, because he will squeeze every copper he can out of them. But he is happy to provide advice on how to get to Count Solero. So what you guys are going to be doing first, as you guys meet up, you've been Sargus and Elric, Varus and Aurelia. You guys can tell me whether you've known each other, met each other before, anything like that. Elric and Sir Varus, I could see you guys having met on the field of battle together, not against each other. But I'll leave it to you to decide whether how that plays out. So, what Elric and Sargus see is a bit of a shocking sight. As Sir Varus is, am I correct? Well, you guys tell me who's coming in first, Sir Varus or Aurelia?
I will do whatever Sir Varus suggests.
I think Sir Varus is probably leading the way. He's dealt with their horses or whatever, and then kind of doesn't full on kick the door open, but it's that kind of like Old West saloon style, kind of walks in and stands in the doorway. And
so this mountain of a man walks in the door, and he from head to toe is dressed in the finest plate mail that money can avail, and obviously stands out dramatically from the rest of the group here. So Elric and Sargus, what do you guys? Elric seems a little.
Could he have just not maybe he could just let his armor get dirty on the way here? Shit. I'll leave the table and wander over towards Servaris. kind of like drifting out of the shadows as I come out of our corner and start walking across the room and make it clear, I'm walking towards him so I don't startle him.
What is the well, I guess you guys tell me, who do you think knows who they're supposed to contact? Like, do you?
I think Varus and Aelric have had some experience both working under King Conan at one point or another, and while he was in the proper employ of the army and probably under Sir Prospero, I was probably like Aelric would have been like an extra, a mercenary band that had joined more for pay, but stayed because, hey, this is pretty good. We're now working for the king, kind of thing.
Okay. So, what is the secret message? How will Sir Varus and Aurelia know that it's you?
Besides him recognizing me, hopefully.
Well, there's probably some. I mean, he may recognize you, but whether I'm not, you would have been gone a year ago, and Sir Varus was only brought to King Conan's attention by Prospero recently.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
Up until the point where Aurelia had her vision, they didn't think they thought you guys were going to handle this.
Yeah, I think it'll be kind of like a joke about Prospero, probably.
Okay.
Aelric will walk up and say, "God, that Prospero guy needs saving all the time." As he's kind of walking by,
Okay.
and see if Sir Varus turns his head.
Sir Varus will kind of, he's got his helmet under his arm, right? So you can see his face, and he you can see that instinctual, it's not whatever the kind of like, I'm picturing more like kind of a Roman salute of like beating the chest is kind of the thing, and you can see his fist kind of twitch like he's gonna do that, and then he realizes where he is. And just sort of, he turns and he winks at Aelric, and of course is not nearly subtle enough for the situation.
Aelric, what? Sorry, do you guys think have you guys met? Have you guys?
I think we
Briefly.
our units were next to each other in a battle or something like that, and so we knew each other a little bit.
Yeah, not like friends or anything, but like guys who'd seen each other across the campfire after a fight, kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you almost missed it, but behind Sir Varus there is a robed figure, very slender.
Aelric could try and get around Sir Varus to take a who's this? You brought a squire?
So Varus will kind of he sort of steps aside a little bit so that Elric can kind of see that it's a smaller person and all that sort of stuff, and then he kind of I think does the sort of like protective kind of puts a hand on Aurelia's back as a sort of like gesture to everybody of like, this person's under my protection, and then sort of nods to Elric like, all right, let's go. What are we doing next?
So then Elric will take note on that. It's like, we're not going to have our introductions in front of the entire tavern, and he'll just turn and walk back over to where Sargus is sitting, and he'll just give a hand signal to the tavern keeper on the way by for a couple more beverages.
Okay. You guys certainly get attention. Aurelia, you can feel every eye, not necessarily on you per se, but on Sir Varus and yourself. You both are very conspicuous. How's she making her way through here?
I mean, she's constantly, checking over her shoulder, and even with Elric, she's like, I mean, he doesn't look like Sir Varus.
No.
She's like, is this guy okay? Like, kind of with a look at Sir Varus. So she's not afraid in the sense that she does believe Mitra will, look out for her, and that she is on a holy mission, and she must do this, but that doesn't mean she'll survive it. And she wants to survive in order to accomplish her holy mission.
Okay. Okay. So, and I guess the thing that really stands out to you the most, the deeper you get into this tavern too, is the smell. So,
Get used to it.
During this whole time, Sargis will be like surveying all the people and checking their reactions. To see if there's anything that
why don't you give us a
stands out?
Yeah. Let's see if anything comes from that. I think it's perception, isn't it? Is that what it is?
Observation?
Observation. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Or maybe insight if it's more about like what people are feeling.
Yeah, good question. Let's see here. So it'd be awareness. I think it's observation because he's not trying to read the reactions. He's trying to spot reactions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now this is a place I think you guys have been here before, so you're not going to get your free success on it, right?
Right.
But I think always persuade is where you get the free momentum right away.
Yeah.
Whoa, 2. Okay, nice. There are definitely some who are making their way through here, and I think what you spot, Sargis, is someone goes through. There's 2 guys who are sitting at a table or one of the longer tables, and they look at Sir Varus as he goes by with a hot branding iron seething hatred as he walks by, and the 2 of them sort of look at each other. They get up and they walk out, but as they're doing it, like they take time to spare hateful looks back at him. They seem to be in a hurry. They go out the front door, and then we now have Aelric, Sir Varus, and Aurelia together. So what you're expecting, Sargis, you guys may remember this from playing before, but for those at home who may not have played Conan doesn't track money in like the way that other RPGs do. It's fistfuls of coins is basically what 1 gold is. It's what you can grab as a greedy thief from a treasure pile and get off with. You guys are transporting 3 gold with you, and I'll let you guys tell me what that is. Whether it's something from treasure, it's rubies or whatever. That's being transported with you as a bribe for Helvis. And what you guys need to figure out is what you want to plan today is how are you going to get Count Solero out of there? Jade Frog, love it. A Jade Frog from distant Kitai.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
All right. So what you need to figure out is how to get this guy. Baron Voudreau, you've heard a little bit about the guy so far, but you haven't done enough legwork yet. You're confident that Count Solero has not left Tereda, so he still is there. You guys have been keeping... Tereda, geographically, is effectively 1 day's travel away from here. So the reason you're meeting up here at Bauska is because it's a very easy and close access to this. Tereda really has very few other geographic features, or rather it has geographic features that prevent it from going. It's in a sort of a heavily hilled area, and there is a region as well where a river runs through there where basically the valley is flooded. It has been for years. It's not a proper lake, but it's flooded for sure. Which means that there's really only one way out, and with him there, how do you guys plan on getting Solero out and back to justice at the feet of King Conan? You could forcibly kidnap him. You could try and storm the palace. You could try and bribe or convince Baron Voudreau to release him. Up to you guys. So, you all are together now. What is the plan?
Well, I think as soon as Elric sits down, he switches to Zamoran and he asks Sargis if the lighthouse is shining too bright. Are we attracting ships in this night? Basically, asking if Varys's freaking armor and Aquilonian stature is going to cause us problems because he saw Sargis looking around.
Yeah. And he'll, respond with the rats are scurrying or something, to code back that what he saw.
And just so everybody at home knows, I'm not cheating. I actually rolled up languages and I ended up with Zamoran, so it just works.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's no doubt partly why they put you 2 together. Maybe.
Yeah.
Zamorin's not a common tongue spoken in the Border Kingdom, so it would be a way for you guys to communicate surreptitiously without any overhearing. So, what happens next, guys?
Do we want to go somewhere more private to discuss our plans?
Yes.
Or
Absolutely.
there are too many ears and eyes.
And I have one too many noses.
So where you guys have probably got like a flop house somewhere, you like the back of some building or something that you've with the turnover here, there's constantly people who are leaving and coming and whatnot too. So you've got a place where you guys can a full building where you guys can lay your head and whatnot. It's just
So we can play that into the story if you want, Kev. I have a talent called Sheltered, which allows me to seek shelter when I get to a new town.
Yes.
Just playing off my minor nobility and the connections of my family and such, but it also comes at a cost. So, they might ask for a favor or.
I think what you've done is you've pissed off some locals. It's one of those things that by virtue of a deed through some relative or something like that, you've because Brithunia, this is not part of Brithunia, but it's the Border Kingdom is on the border of Brithunia. So, by virtue of at some point someone could have owned some land here. It's not inconceivable. So you've claimed that. We'll say it's a small little worn down kind of like manor house type thing. But that also meant that you kicked someone out when you came here.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So as you guys,
minor nobility. I'm sorry. That works.
So what are you guys doing then? What's the plan?
Let's finish up here and head over to our residence for now. I look to Cerberus and Aurelia and say, not sure if you feel comfortable in this area, but there's certainly challenges being openly Aquilonian, my friend.
I say we follow Alric and his friend here.
Okay.
Okay. So then, how do you guys grab your whatever you had with you, Elric and Sargus, and head out? So once again, like the eyes sort of follow all of you along. Sargus, I mean, you probably are most cognizant of all the eyes that follow you, being more of a someone who prefers a more surreptitious approach as opposed to the clearly loud approach here. You guys get out.
Absolutely.
Is there any?
On the way, Aurelia just gonna purposely stand up a little straighter because she feels like she's letting down Mitra by kind of being, she's this fish out of water. It's not like she's just freaked out and afraid, but she's just really unfamiliar to her, and she's realizing like, even if I am afraid, I gotta find courage. So she's gonna fake it till she makes it. So she's gonna kind of stand up a little straighter.
Okay. So as you guys are making your way towards, it'll take you about maybe 10 minutes to walk to where you're heading in Bauska. Is there any conversation for the first, say, 5 minutes?
Elric will try and break the ice with Varus because they don't know each other well, but they've come across paths. So, how was the road? Travels here or been challenging for others?
It was acceptable. Nothing like the paved highways of home, but you must make do in these wild lands.
You will find nothing like the paved highways of home here.
So you guys are talking about what is Sargus and Aurelia doing while this conversation is going on between these two warriors?
I think Sargus would just introduce himself.
Okay.
So,
And you are in the employ of our king,
I am.
And what
eyes and ears
manner
here in these lands.
I see.
I send
am the
reports
eyes
to
and-
him. Sorry, what are you? The eyes and ears?
I am also the eyes and ears, but of the spiritual realm.
I see.
I think
a priestess.
We may get along well.
For sure.
So as you guys are talking, let's have everybody give me an observation check, please. I'm going to check something here. All right. Nice.
Nice.
Sargus, you guys can have 1 point in the momentum pool right now.
Nice.
So, what's happening, guys, is as you're making your way along, you can see that, and Sargus, you were the one who sort of notices this, that you are taking what is supposed to be a bit of a shortcut, you know, to get to your house. And it's not really like, it's not so small that you're cutting through an alley or something like that. It's just, it's a place where there are 2 large buildings on either side, and it's relatively narrow. You could fit 1 cart through here. And it's then that you see, you notice that there are 3 men who have robes thrown, or cloaks rather, thrown up over their heads, who are walking along towards you. And one of them, like the moonlight catches his eyes just such that you can see him staring directly at you guys. And you are not directly in front of them. He's looking to the side to see you. And that gives you enough of a warning to stop and look behind. And you can see that there are 5 men following. So you have been in enough and sprang enough ambushes of your own to know what these are. And I'll also let you with a 2. You can see that these men have weapons on them too.
Yeah, I will immediately interrupt their conversation.
Okay.
Gentlemen! And he'll sort of indicate with his head what's going on.
Okay. Any of you who rolled at least 1 observation, you are able to judge what's going on right now. So, Elric, I think you're the only one who... I don't know where your mind is, but it ain't on what's going on. So here's what I'm going to do.
Elric is as distracted by Servaris as the rest of the people in town.
Yeah. You can't help but study that plate mail. Say what you will about how the lack of subtlety. Boy, is it nice.
Well, he's trying to work up the courage to say, couldn't you have gotten a little dirty on the way because you're freaking attracting too much attention?
Yeah,
but while he's doing that, he's missing the attention that's around him.
So, Sargus says that. You guys can look around, and guys, this is just a good... they all look different, you know. They're all sort of like poorly dressed mercenaries, but this will give you an idea, I think, of the sort of salt of the earth type that's about to assault you. You, Servaris, rolled 1 lore success at the beginning. You know that the Border Kingdoms not only do the inhabitants of the Border Kingdom often harbor sore feelings towards Aquilonia. This is also it is the land of renegades and outcasts and the losers of the most recent war. So you've sort of expected that this would come. So, guys, we're going to drop into a tactical thing here. Now, as a refresher, the way that combat works in Conan, you're going to keep that momentum. I know rules as written say you lose it, but when the fuck do I ever run things by the rules as written? So we're rolling over that thing. So you've got 1 momentum in your pool right now. Max pool, again, is a 6, so we can't get more than 6 points in the momentum pool. And the way that things work is you guys will go first until I interrupt by spending doom to take a turn for the enemies. And let me give you a little layout of how many, so we can see how many guys are coming in here. Okay. Doom. I forgot how much fun I have hamming it up for this game. Boy, oh boy.
No, it's a shame you don't have a regular Conan game, Kev.
I tell you, if you think I'm hamming up for this, the next, because we've got someone else is very generously running the next charity session, I am working my buns off to have a Witcher game together, and I just finished my third rewatch of the series.
Wow.
Yeah, the game is looks really, really good. Maybe it's bad, but I'm really excited to run a Witcher one-shot.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah. Not the same game, but the same sort of dark fantasy sensibilities. And I think it plays a little faster than this. Doesn't have the texture of that you get with momentum and shit like that, but I think it'll be a lot of fun anyway. But anyway, plus more opportunities for me to do stupid voices. So, guys, this is what you have. You have 3 before you. Mechanic-wise, these guys are 1 zone away from you right now. So it'll be 1 zone ahead, 1 zone behind. They seem to be approaching towards you. They don't have their weapons ready just yet, but they look like they're going to be. So mechanically, they don't have a readied weapon. So the length of their weapon does not count for whatever your length of weapons are. So, guys, knowing that these ruffians seem to be intent on causing you harm, who wants to act first?
I think that Sargis has an action that he wants to take.
Sure. Well, let's talk about what you're going to do. So, you have to take your whole turn. If you're going to take any actions, you take your whole turn. And on your turn, you can do a standard action, what is this? 1 standard, 1 minor, and as many free as is reasonable. Is that right, guys?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So, what do you have in mind there, Sargus?
He's gonna speak out to these approaching men. He's going to, sort of pull his dagger just a little bit out of where he's got it sort of hidden, and so there's like the flash of the blade.
Yep.
And he's gonna look straight at them, and he's gonna say, "You boys are about to make a big mistake."
Okay. So that to me sounds like you're intimidating them, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Awesome. So we know you've got that intimidate talent that gives one automatic success, right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. So let's make a persuade check then. You currently have 2 dice. You can give me up to 3 doom to get extra dice.
Yeah, let's get a really big effect here.
Doom.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So wait, that gives me 5 total dice if I give you 3, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hell yes. And like
Super
mechanically
doom.
too, this is what the game sort of relies on too for my bad
you
guys.
have to buy with Doom.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta.
I've played it before.
Yeah.
I know the more Doom you give Kevin, the more fun the game goes.
The more fun Kev has, at least.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, and a complication.
Complication.
How many? 1 or
But
2?
5
only 1.
successes.
Okay. Well, I'm just pulling up the stats for these schmoes here. All right.
Because of my automatic 1 success.
Yes. So you get total of. Are they here? Yep, that's what I want. All right. So they have 0 courage, which is what would be their the thing that reduces the amount of effect you get. So that is. They are not resisting, so it's a DC of target number 1, which means you've got 4 momentum from this. And there's the 1 momentum in the pool. So before it goes back into the pool, we decide what you're going to do with it. Now, what you can choose to spend your momentum on, Jeff, is... I sent you that cheat sheet that we had.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Oh, great. Okay. So here's some other things. So you can basically, you can add to damage. It sounds to me what you're doing is a Steely Glare. So Steely Glare does 2 points, 2 dice of damage to start with. And then you also add 1 more dice because of your ability. You're going to add your personality damage. I think you get +3 or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, I can build. Why don't I just build a weapon roll for you, Jeff?
Sure, that would be great.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And then what you've got to what you got to decide is what you want to do with your momentum.
Right. Okay. So it can.
Each 1 dice could give you an extra +1 to damage, not plus dice, but just a flat plus.
Oh yeah, right. Bonus damage, break guard. I see it. Okay.
And these guys are minions, which means that you sort of can affect. It spills over for what affects one carries over to the next.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll just I'll spend.
All right, Jeff.
One
Steely
momentum.
Glare should be set up correctly.
Okay,
So you can
perfect.
just roll it.
Thanks, Arlen.
Yeah. No.
I'm just gonna spend one momentum right now to do one bonus damage for sure.
Okay, so add. Go ahead and roll damage, and just add the +1 damage. And let's see what you get here.
On fire. No.
Does Steely Glare have any traits?
Stun.
Yeah, stun.
Stun. Okay, great.
Nice.
And what does this stun? What does a stun trait do? Whoa, 6 with 2 effects.
Stun, I believe, stuns the target for that many rounds, but I'm gonna double check.
Or is it they have to spend that much doom in order to act again? I think that's the way stun works, isn't it?
Okay. It inflicts the staggered condition on the target. If one or more effects are rolled, the condition lasts until the end of the target's next turn, but the target may ignore this at the cost of 1 point of doom for each effect roll.
There we go. Okay. So, hi, sweetie. Excellent. So, they are... this one, the one of the lead ones, he looks up at you, and you have completely broken him. He just... and he throws the axe he's carrying down onto the ground with 6 damage. Hold on, I think it might be enough to drive 2 of them off. Let's see here. Actually, and with 6, you also inflict a harm, which automatically takes out a one of them. So, yeah, one of them goes fleeing away right away, leaving 2 in front of you and 5 behind. Who wants to go next? Oh, and then I guess if you've got... That means you have 3 momentum left over. Are you just dumping that back into the pool there, Sargos?
Yeah. I'll
Awesome.
Put it into the pool for everybody else.
Momentum pool is now 4. Who wants to go next?
Oh.
I think Aurelia is going to stare down these ruffians.
Yep.
And she's going to take her staff and plant it hard into the ground and just stare at them.
Okay. Does she have her cloak still up, or has it fallen back?
She pulls it back and she shows like she is.
Okay.
Who is obviously someone she looks like somebody they wouldn't see
Absolutely. I'll give you +1 dice for that.
Okay, cool.
Just because that's a surprise reveal, and Mitra is still venerated in the Border Kingdom as well too. So.
Cool. So that is going to be my persuade roll. This is not terrible. Let's see what happens here. We have 4 momentum in the pool. I will. I'm going to add 2. I'm going to take 2 of those, so I'll have 4 dice.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so momentum pool's got 2. No, you have 5 dice then, because I gave you a 1 as well.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So just go ahead and roll 1 more d20.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's...
I counted 2 because it's under my... Let me double check.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's under my focus.
Okay, so that is 5 successes then. What do you want to do with... So you've got 4 momentum from that. What do you want to do with your 4 momentum?
I guess I'll take 2 of it and convert it into damage.
Okay.
So it'll be 2... plus 2. 2 dice plus 2. I don't know if I said this out correctly, but let's see what happens.
Live large.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So 4 plus a special. All right. So
yeah,
one of...
that was right. It worked right.
Yeah. So you stare back, and one of the guys behind you is... I'll put a little dot on him. He's staggered completely. And hold on. Nope. And you got rid of his resolve, too. That's enough for him to run off as well. Mitra, protect me! Mitra, protect me! As he runs off. Who would like to go next? So, and now let me see here. That was... You only spent 2 on your damage, right?
I spent Correct, 2 on my damage.
So then do you want the rest to
three
go
left.
back in the dice in the momentum?
Yes. Yep.
Awesome. 4 momentum again. Aelric and Servaris, you guys are up next.
You want me to go, Dave, or
Yeah.
you want to do?
No, go ahead.
All right. Varus, so minor action to draw the broadsword.
Okay.
Shing sound plays, of course, since
Yeah.
his big sword in his hands. Is gonna turn to Aurelia and say, "Get behind me," and then he is gonna do like everybody else seems to be doing. Let's do some steely glare against these guys. Gonna spend 2 momentum from the pool for 4 dice.
Okay.
And so let's do persuade with 4 dice.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
So 1 momentum left over plus
Yep.
2 in the pool. So then he is going to do. We've got 3 momentum total right now. He's going to spend 1 on extra damage.
Well, remember, if it's in the pool, you can't spend it on damage or things like that. That's
Oh, okay.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the sort of a restriction, if you want to feed through momentum to try and get it into your results, you need to spend that on the dice roll, and then
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So he's got 1 extra that he's just going to.
Just gonna ask. So the pool goes into your dice roll pool.
So the pool sits separately, and it's something that it's called it's restricted to immediate spends. And I think maybe I got this wrong, but I seem to remember that you can't spend if you don't put the momentum pool into your dice rolls. You don't then get to just draw from that to augment your damage dice or something like that, your damage roll.
Okay, but you can add dice using the momentum.
Yes, you can
That's
absolutely.
cool.
You're free to add it into the front end of it. It's just like you can't roll like 2 dice and then dump the 6 dice in the momentum pool into your damage dice.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I forgotten about that.
Okay.
Okay, so he's gonna spend his 1 that he generated on extra damage.
Yep.
And then he's gonna steely glare like this
Nice.
for total of 3 points of damage, and the momentum equals to 2.
Okay. So 3. Hey. This one is stunned. Not quite down. I'll put a little dot on him here. Yeah, so the lot of you guys are scaring the shit out of them. Elric, what are you doing?
I almost feel like I don't need to do anything. We've got this taken care of, but there's still a few guys damaged. So,
Kill
Or-
some of them, Dave.
what's that?
I said kill some of them.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. So, as a minor action, I will draw my saber
Okay.
with a mighty shing,
Yep.
and I will add. We have 2 in the dice pool.
2 in the pool.
Can I? What's my?
Can you give me Doom? Yes, you can. Absolutely.
So for my attack action, do I have to be within certain? You said they were 1 range away.
Yeah, you'll have to move 1 range in order to get there, but I can't remember. Can you?
And there's 2
Can
in
you
front of us. And
Can you give me Doom to get an extra action, or can you spend
You
momentum?
Oh, you can spend fortune points to take a second.
Oh, take an extra standard action. Yeah, this is not worth standard worth that.
Yeah.
no.
So let's hear.
So I'll just use the minor to draw my weapon, and I don't have steely glare or anything.
Yeah,
But,
you could ready an action if you want, for like when it gets in.
Yeah, I'll do that. And
Actually,
It's enough.
there is a way to do it. It's called swift action momentum spend. The character gains an additional standard action, increasing the difficulty by 1 step on any skill test that action requires. It's a cost of 2 momentum. My handy dandy screen
yeah,
here.
Yep.
yeah, I think I'll just I'll draw my weapon and hold my action. If the guys in front of us move into melee,
Excellent.
I'll attack.
Sure. All right. So we have.
Do I have to declare if I'm using any of the momentum now, or can I wait until
You wait till you're when you're picking up your dice, that's when you make the decision whether to draw from the momentum pool or
Okay.
whatever. Okay, so then on their turn, one of the guys is stunned. 2 of them in front will run towards Elric, and 3 of them will run towards Servaris. So on their action, they're just racing in. And what they say in Nemedian accented voices is, Aquilonian scum! All right, now, because they're a group...
my action. Do I interrupt theirs?
You get to make your action now. Yeah.
I'm going to... I'll pull 1 from the momentum pool.
Yep.
And how many dice do I... How does the dice and the Doom
So
pool
max
work?
of 5 dice. You always have start with 2. You can gain up to 3. And then you can always give me Doom.
Okay, so the 1 from the momentum pool puts me at 3.
Yep.
I'm gonna give you 2 Doom.
2 Doom! Yes!
Because we're gonna make a memory out of this guy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
But this
So
is
that
not going to
means I'm
end well.
rolling 5 dice then?
5 dice. Hell yeah.
But do I put a +3 then in the modifier?
Yes.
1
think
from
so.
the momentum and 2 from the Doom?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh,
Big hit.
Oh, that's
Oh, that's your damage.
did I roll wrong?
Yep.
Where's
You
the-
got to roll melee as your skill first.
Oh, that is...
That's how many dice?
It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's in the agility section.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dice 5.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice. 5. Now, they're minions, so I'm not spending a... I don't think they can defend against this. That means you have... it's a difficulty of 1 when they don't defend. You have 4 momentum right now that's generated from that roll. What do you want to spend on that 4?
I will... where's that one where I can second target or something?
Yeah.
So
Secondary target.
the way that it works with minions, though, is that if you just damage 1, it carries through to the next.
Oh, so I don't need to spend the action on a second target?
No, definitely not with minions.
Okay. Then I'll just do extra damage, because then that will carry through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Awesome.
Now, the only advantage to that is that I do get to keep applying armor. Like, when you drop 1, you're rolling damage once, and you're rolling, so if you did spend 2 and you made a second attack, you could try and roll damage fresh against 2 different targets.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Well,
Yeah.
a second target suffers half an attack's damage.
Oh, well then, yeah,
You do less.
you may be better pressed to, or better money better spent just spending it directly on damage.
Bonus damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or something else
Okay.
like armor piercing.
Oh, uh-huh.
Isn't that?
Armor piercing.
Yeah, penetration. Damage inflicted by the current
Oh,
attack ignores
penetration.
an amount of soak equal to twice the momentum spent.
And these guys are wearing Brigandine, so it's 2 armor. So if you spend
Okay.
1 momentum, you ignore their armor.
Yeah,
That's
I'll do
pretty
that.
awesome.
So I'll spend momentum to ignore their armor.
Yep.
And how many were in the pool?
4.
Pool
Four that you generated that you can use.
Yeah.
4 that generated. So I
3 more.
will. I'll spend. Where's the extra damage?
Top 1 for 1. It's not extra
It's
dice,
one.
it's
Okay,
extra
so
damage.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
spend
just
2.
plus 1.
I'll spend 2 and drop 2 into the pool for Arlen.
There's
or
only
for-
1 left. You would only have 1 left to go in for.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and roll damage at plus 2.
Okay, now I go roll my damage.
Yep.
Modifier 2.
Yep.
And guess what? I have a no mercy. On a melee attack, you can re-roll any number of damage dice equal to your melee talents ranks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
Oh,
5 plus 2 special. What is the saber's traits?
parrying and cavalry. So cavalry will not apply.
No, and parrying is just reduces the cost of reactions. Okay, so then that is 5 damage. It completely ignores armor. Tell us about how you cut down brutally one of these guys.
Yeah, I think the saber whips out. He waits for the guy to get in close, and then before the guy even can get his axe back, the saber finds a spot right between the plates, the brigandine, and gets him right in the gut, and he just.
All right, now I'll let the heroes decide. I've got one guy that's attacking Elric, and I got 3 that are attacking Servaris. You guys will have the opportunity. Servaris has got a broadsword out, I think. Is that right?
I got my broadsword out.
And it's parrying, right?
And it has parrying.
So there's no reason why he wouldn't want to try and defend it. Do you want me to do that one first, and then, or do you want me to do the one with Elric first?
So Varus has really good armor. So you might do Elric first, because Varus, if he takes a hit after parrying, it's not going to be very bad.
Sure. So then I have one attacking you, Elric. You have your broadsword or your saber has a parrying trait, which means you can parry against this for free. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll. Am I going to spend Doom? I'm going to spend Doom to make this interesting. So I'm spending 3 Doom to jack up my dice pool a little bit.
Okay.
It's a little bit of fucking unfair DMing, spending Doom on a minion, but what are you going to do?
Parry is a melee roll?
Parry is a parry roll. It's under agility. It's either agility or coordination.
Coordination.
Yeah.
Coordination.
So go ahead and make your roll. I'm making my roll here. My total is 1, 2, 3, 4, actually.
Whoa.
So I got 4 successes. Go ahead and make your parry. You can draw from that momentum pool again to augment, or you can give me more Doom.
I'll just take 1 from the momentum pool.
Okay. So go ahead and make your parry roll then. You got 3. Do you want to spend anything from the Doom pool too?
Oh, wow. That was terrible.
Hey, okay, so I got 3 that gets... Oh, no, I got all 4 because you tried to parry it. So 4 plus... he has a sword. Let's see what happens here. When I get a hit location, I'm using my hit location thing from the Kickstarter. Finally.
Nice.
I hit you in the left arm.
Oh no.
No! No! My lucky left arm! Oh no! Alright, so then let's see here. How much damage is this? I'm spending my momentum. I have 4 momentum. I'm spending 1 to get through your armor. So your armor's reduced by 2. And I'm going to spend the rest on damage, so it's plus 3 damage. I get 4, 5, so 6. I do 8 damage, and I've got no special effect. So 8 damage you take, Elric. And I ignore 2 points of armor.
Which bar is that?
To the red bar.
The red bar?
Yep.
Ow.
Oh, and I did a wound to you because I did more than 5 points of damage.
Oh, yeah.
So you mark, on your character sheet, mark a wound. Okay. And does a wound have an immediate effect? Does it reduce dice pools by 1?
It increases the difficulty of everything related to it by 1.
Much better. So I think, you tried to defend here. You cut down the one guy, but you left yourself open, and he caught you in the side. All right, there's 1 momentum left in the pool. Servaris, I take it you are defending as well, too.
Yeah, I'm going to parry against the first one. I'm going to use the momentum pool for 1 extra die. Excellent.
Okay, so let me get... Well, they're a group, so they're attacking all as 1.
Oh, right.
Right, so am I going to spend some... Let's make it interesting. Let's put some Doom into this. 2 more Doom. I'm rolling at my max of 5, so make your choices appropriately.
Okay, I'm going to give you 2 more Doom to roll 5 dice.
Hell yes.
1 in the momentum pool.
Let's see what happens here. All right, so I'm making my roll. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
4 successes for me.
And I got a complication, so I got to lose a point of Doom. 4 successes for you. Fantastic.
Yeah, it doesn't count correctly if you get underneath the... But yeah.
Fantastic. So you rob them.
It's on...
What does this look like?
Under trackers, it says fortune points and wounds. You just have to switch one of the H's to a W.
Yeah. Healthy to wounded. All right, so unfortunately, Elric hit, but for you, Servaris, all 3 of them come in, and now we see what those years of training, both in, with your knight that you squired for, and hard, fought lessons on the battlefield, keeping all 3 of these completely at bay. None of them get through your defenses.
Yep.
Awesome.
Guys, that brings us to the end of our first round. The momentum pool goes down by 1.
Yeah, it was at 0 because
Oh, is that 0? Okay, so we are at the start of a new round. We have Aelric engaged with 1 enemy. We've got Cerberus with 3. Heroes go first unless I spend Doom. And I'm not spending Doom. So who wants to go first? Oh, bump from chat. Hold on. We'll let Dave get back in first here, and then we'll see who wants to go first. Okay. So Aelric stumbles. Oh, cutting aside. All right.
Back in action.
All right, back in action. So, I am not spending Doom on this first one. Who wants to go first?
Why don't you, Dave? You're in danger.
Well, so to be strategic, it might be good to have Aurelia or Sargis target the one that Varys targeted last time to finish him off and generate some momentum.
Yep.
Yeah. I was looking through my options. I'm going to, with a minor action, I'm just going to pull out my dagger.
Okay.
Just so I have it. And I will then turn my attention toward that damaged guy and point the dagger at him and just kind of make eye contact and make my eyes large and like almost insane.
Go ahead and give us a persuade. Now, you can give me any Doom or...
I think I need to. Yeah, I know.
How much am I getting?
I'm gonna get 2.
2 points. Love it.
Four dice here that I'm rolling.
Hey, got to send my kids through Doom College.
Momentum. That's right. Okay.
Fantastic. Holy shit, that's 5 actually.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. So 5 successes. That means you've got 4 momentum. Once again, what are you doing?
So I will. I'll just spend 1 of those momentum out of the 4 to increase the damage by 1.
Okay. So momentum pool's going to become a 3.
Yeah. And here's my roll here. 1.
Yes.
3.
Yeah. So once again, he and runs off. Then, do I spend Doom to go next? Yes, I do.
Oh.
I'm gonna take that knight down.
That.
All right, so we're going with our 3 guys. Hi, sweetie. I know it's exciting. So I got to spend.
I don't like you getting all excited about that.
Yeah, when my voice goes up, she's saying like, "What the hell's going on?" I don't know what the answer is, but let's start biting hands. Right, sweetie. Good girl. Okay, so then I'm spending Doom as well to augment my pool. So I'm once again rocking. Oh, I only need 2. A dice pool of 5.
Oh.
This is lethal.
I'm going to spend all 3 of our momentum for a dice pool of 5 as well.
Awesome.
Nice.
Let's see here. I get a whopping 2 successes. That's it.
I got 4.
Nice. Do you want to spend 2 points on retaliate? Or you want to dump it into?
I think I want to dump it into the pool because I'm gonna try to help Eric take down his 1, and then we can gang up on these guys.
Awesome. Okay, so the dice pool's back into 2. Now you guys get to choose who wants to go.
Sargis, do you want to do something to try and drive up?
Well,
the dice pool,
if I act, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say that Alaric and Sargis have fought together before, and probably even in specifically these kind of back alley dirty fights, and he would draw his knife and probably move behind the guy that's, sort of slip behind him and put his knife in his back.
Love it. So one of the things for those listening at home, one of the things I said before is that everyone has a bond with one other character, and they can reveal that in the course of our session and gain automatically 2 momentum they can spend on that roll. So Sargis, seeing Aelric cutting aside, that things are clearly where we've gone beyond the fucking around stage and into the things might die stage. Sargis, it sounds like you're making an attack. It's a minion, so I'm not going to defend.
Okay, so I roll melee and...
Now, so you got 2 momentum. If you're dumping that in, okay, so you got 4. You still could do 1 more. There's 2 points of momentum in the pool. Or you can give me... Doom.
Let's do a full 5, because I'll try to generate more back.
Nice, love it.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay.
So that's 3 successes. That means you got 2 momentum that's generated from that roll.
Okay. I'm gonna leave that momentum in the pool and just roll my damage.
Okay. Cool. Let's roll hit location. Because maybe
Oh yeah.
if it hits him in the head. Left leg.
Hamstringing him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage. Ooh. So 1, and the Ganada knife has... So it's hidden, thrown, and...
Vicious. I think I
Vicious
have
is,
on my...
is that extra damage?
Vicious is extra damage on specials. Yeah.
Oh, yes. So that means it's actually 2 points of damage. No, 3. 3 damage to him. Now, his armor does not suck up any of that. So he's injured, but he's not down. And he sees you from behind. He's the only one left to go. I'm not spending Doom to go next, so who would like to go next?
I think I'll go next. And yeah, so I'll attack, and I'll use the 3 points in the pool.
Okay. So you got 5 now. And so your difficulty is going to go up by 1 for this. So it'll be 2 is what you need to succeed.
Okay.
Let's see here. So with
Oh,
5...
I don't think I added my... I didn't add the other dice.
Yeah, so you already got 2 successes, so roll 3 more d20s. All this will be gravy. That's another 2. And I think a 12 is a success as well, right? What's your melee plus your agility?
My agility is 13, and I have 2 in melee.
That's a success.
Yep.
Awesome. So
Awesome.
you have 3 momentum right now. What do you want to do with that?
So he's already wounded. I'm gonna use some for extra damage.
A more efficient use might be to just spend 1 to penetrate, because that'll get rid his brigandine.
Oh, because he's got an armor.
Well, let's see where you hit him actually first. Here, you hit him
Yeah.
right arm.
So
Yeah, so it is protected.
piercing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so you got 2 momentum left over.
I'll put those in the pool.
Awesome. Then go ahead and roll damage. All this will be applied to him.
Sweet.
No modifiers to my damage dice, right?
That's right. Yeah. That is 2 points of damage. That is enough to kill him, though. So you hack his right arm off, and he kind of grabs at his stump and drops down dead. Next, I have no other guys to go, so really it's just Servaris.
So we've got 2 in the pool, so I might as well use both of them to try to melee these guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to give me Doom?
And in fact, I'm going to even give you 1 Doom to get the big roll.
Love it. Okay.
5 dice for melee,
Nice.
1 complication, and
And-
5 successes.
Awesome. I'm going to take the complication just as Doom.
All right.
So you got
So-
5 successes, which means 4 momentum.
4 momentum. Do I have to declare bonus damage before I roll?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't remember rules was written, but yeah.
All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 on penetrating. No, I'm going to go big. I'm going to spend 2 on penetrating and 2 on extra damage to try
Because
to get
they're a group, I'll let you know, like for 1, the armor's only 2. I will let you, if you spend the point on penetrating, I'll count it for all of them.
Oh, okay. I was thinking I'd spend penetrating on 1 and penetrating on the next one.
No, I'm okay with the,
All right.
do it with all
1 penetrating plus 3 damage.
Okay.
So 3 on top of this to try to get them down quick. No modifier to damage dice.
Nice.
And I get to
1, 2,
re-roll
3,
one of
4,
those
5,
dice
6.
that didn't have a success with no mercy. So
Yep.
/R 1d6. So
2.
7 points of damage.
So it's what's it? 1. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8. I count Because it's
8.
that special isn't counted, right?
The special doesn't. I don't have vicious
2,
on the
3, 4,
broadsword.
5. No, but I mean, but a special still counts as a 1. It's 1 damage plus whatever the effect is.
Yeah, and it's. I think it's counting that correctly.
It isn't. Take a look. 1, 2,
It
3,
isn't?
4, 5. No.
Oh no, it's not.
Yeah.
That's right. All right.
Yeah.
So 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage is, and that does not. Oh, does that include or not include your +3 from the momentum?
That does not include my +3, so it's actually 11.
So tell us how you cut down 2 of these guys.
So I think the first one, he's got that big wide swing, and I've dealt with people like this before, and I just stab him through the chest and kind of shoulder check him off. And then as part of that same movement, I kind of bring the sword around and lop off one guy's leg, and he goes and falls into the dirt and bleeds out and all that.
The final one will flee. Unless you wish to do anything, you could spend give me a doom to do a free strike against him.
He may alert our enemies.
No, I think I'm gonna let him run.
I'll let any of you guys, because he's all in the same zone as you guys now. So Elric or Sargus, you guys could spend a doom, or give me a doom to take a free strike against this guy.
Done.
Yeah, do it. You do it.
Okay.
I'm angry that I let myself get hit by these pestery little fuckers.
Yeah. Nice. So that is 3 successes. So you got 1 momentum. What do you want to?
Use that for the piercing.
Sounds good. Okay, so just whatever you roll damage is the damage on this. Come on, big money.
And I can re-roll 1 with my no mercifulness.
Yep. Nice. So that's 1, 2 so far. Is the saber vicious or not? No.
No.
The knife is vicious. Okay, so you can re-roll one of those, Dave?
Sure, just D6.
Yes, please.
Nice.
4. What does it look like as you cut this guy down?
He turns to flee, and I know Cerberus isn't even going to swing because he's a knight and he's noble and all that, but I'm not that kind of guy. So I just step in and cut him right across the back and split him open.
Love it. All right, now, let's see here. Okay, so recovery. I can't remember how recovery works in this game. So let's take a quick second here. I know. I'm looking it up.
So Dave needs someone to perform a healing check on him.
Okay.
To bind his wounds. We get, as long as we have time to rest for a couple minutes, we get all of our vigor back.
Right, because you bound the wounds, and then if you can open it again, right? If you take another wound, it opens your previous wound, and so you don't. Yes, got it. Okay, I remember. It's all coming back to me. It's only been 3 years since I've run this game, so.
Well, and I've been running Conan on Wednesdays.
Actually. Oh, nice.
So I have been boning up on the rules a little bit.
Great. Does anyone have healing?
I have it. I have an 11 total.
Sure. And you guys can give me Doom if you want to take extra dice on that roll.
I can't remember. Is there a chance of me? Well, yeah, I guess there is a chance of me making it worse.
If you roll a complication, definitely.
Right. Yeah.
Let me just put this Black Lotus in there to numb the pain.
And do I know what the difficulty is?
I'm looking it up right now to see if
it's page 118 of the healing stuff here. So damage is that. Recovering from damage. A character recovers all stress, vigor, and resolve at the end of the scene. So, Aelric, you can go ahead and bump your vigor back up to full again. You get a chance to catch your breath. And then we need to bind that wound. Is it DR? Sorry, difficulty is 1? If successful?
I think the difficulty is however many wounds you have.
Yes, to treat harm.
Choose kind of harms being treated.
Average. Do you want a skill test?
I think it's just 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it's just all you need is 1 success. How lucky are you feeling?
I feel like Mitra is guiding my hands as I try to bind my companion's wounds.
Okay.
So.
Is it the Doom of Mitra? Yes, it is. Yeah. Complication. Here's the complication I'm going to add. Elric,
Okay.
you get the distinct impression that Aurelia is hitting on you. This is the first time this priestess has been outside of the thing. Now, George, to be clear, I'm not saying your character is, by any means.
No, but I would say one of the reasons he might get that idea is that she had said, like, don't let our enemies find out, our enemies may find out about us. And then Varys didn't do anything, but Elric stepped up there, took that guy down. So he may be sensing her, feeling of relief at his actions.
Yep. So here's what I'll do. If you incorporate that into one of Elric's actions, I will give you 2 momentum for that. But it's going to be something that I'm also going to get 2 doom for. So it's basically an extra bond, but it's going to come at a cost. Okay, so then let's see here. That means your wound is now treated. So Elric, you're bound up. And now leaving these bodies, it's not unusual for bodies to be left in the streets of Bauska. So you guys sort of hurry on and you get yourself to your home. Let's talk about what you're going to do then to try and save or to steal or whatever or get Count Solero.
So when we get to this shack or whatever it is,
yep,
that is considered lodging in this region, Aurelia's going to let you know that she says I can get counsel from Mitra himself. I can cast an incantation that will allow me to gain some insight and some of his wisdom in terms of how we should proceed. I may inquire as to some questions that related to our task, if you wish.
I'm by no means a religious man, but these are strange times. We do want to be successful for the king, so perhaps. What do the others think?
I can see no reason that prayers to Mitra would be a bad policy, especially in this land.
Okay.
I think it is the only light in this darkness that we find ourselves in, is the wisdom of Mitra.
Sardis, are you okay with this?
Oh yeah, he wouldn't care about her doing her religious stuff.
Okay.
He just like
each their own.
Whatever.
Yeah. So what are you doing now?
So I'm gonna pull out some pieces of specially crafted charcoal that I brought from the temple, and I'm going to. It's basically incense, and I'm gonna light it. I'm gonna find like a stone or something to place it on. Okay. And I'm gonna light it, and I'm going to. I have to spend resolve in order to do this, so it's not without its costs. So I'm going to spend 2 resolve, which lets me ask, and I'm going to do a difficulty of 1, which lets me to ask 2 questions.
Okay.
So, what is it that you are all better strategists than I? What is it that we wish to know about Solero or the Baron?
Well, I think we need to know whether or not Vudra will turn over Solero. Should we bribe him or
or kidnap him?
Or should we take Solero by force?
Okay, so I'm gonna basically make that my 2 questions, and essentially the way it works is, I am conjuring visions of what things look like.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do in one vision, I'm gonna conjure like what I think it would look like to convince the Baron to turn him over, and then in the second vision, what would happen if we were to try to kidnap kidnap Solero from the Baron.
Okay. So,
I got to make a roll though.
yep. So you currently have 2 dice.
Yeah.
Your
So
sorcery is pretty awesome.
You know
It's
what?
pretty-
This is where I think you're talking about what you're going to do, and
Yeah.
since I totally misread your ministrations earlier, I'm gonna walk up and put my hand on your arm and kind of give you a little gentle rub and say, I have faith in you. You can do this. And it totally flirt back with you, and totally don't know whether or not it's the right thing, but it seemed like the right time to give you some encouragement.
She looks at him like, "What are you doing?" In the middle of casting a ritual. Not touch the priestess.
All right.
So.
So let's put 2 momentum into the momentum pool.
Okay. So that'll put me at 4. And I, I think this is extremely important in terms of carrying out my task. And I'm very, very driven to succeed at what I've been tasked with doing. So I will give you 1 doom.
Thank you.
To give myself 5
I
dice.
will happily accept it.
So,
and I'm going to shrink back into the corner and hide somewhere because clearly that was misplaced.
Yes. But things could change. Who knows? So here we go. I got 5 dice. I've got a pretty darn good sorcery skill. Let us see how it works out. 5.
No complications, too.
No complications, and I have a focus of 5. So 5. 5 total.
5 total, okay.
Yeah.
So what?
So the difficulty was 1, so I have 4. There's 4 momentum that were generated.
Okay. And what? So because you already you set the difficulty beforehand, you got. I don't think there's anything else you can use that 4 momentum for. Right?
I can, yeah. So there's 2 momentum spends I have access to. One is not going to matter because it's only if I roll the complication and I start taking damage.
Yep.
The other, however, is for each momentum I spend, I can ask 1 additional question.
No, but with sorcery, don't you? You have to set.
You have to spend ahead of time.
Yeah, you have to figure out what those are ahead of time.
Yeah.
They phrase it in a weird way where they call it momentum spends, but really what you're doing is like you custom built your spell beforehand, and that sets your difficulty.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is why I wanted to play a spellcaster.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So I couldn't have done anything anyway because we had no momentum left.
Let's say that you would have gotten. Let's give you 4 questions, because I think that if you had known that, that probably would have affected the difficulty number you would roll again.
No, I think I would because I wanted to make sure it was successful. Let's just start. Let's just do
just 1. Okay. So that you can put the 4.
Questions.
Yeah, you can put it into the momentum pool.
Yeah, I'd rather do that because other people
Sure.
may.
Yeah, because until we transition scenes, it's going to stay at 4. And actually, with 4, it's going to bleed away slowly.
Yeah,
it only drops down by
exactly.
1 per scene, right? So.
Right.
And what kind of dick DM would transition scenes 4 times? Like.
Yeah. So you go to this house, then you go.
Exactly. And outside, and then we cut to, and you have nothing. Okay, so let's tell.
Just doing a montage suddenly.
So what do we see as you're looking into this? And let me just give you an idea. Oh, actually, no. You tell me, and then I'll tell you what happens. Also.
Cool. So I start chanting in kind of ritualistic language, and the smoke starts to kind of curl around itself as it starts to form into images. It doesn't look like anything to anybody else, but to me, I'm starting to see something play out. Like I'm starting to see figures arise within the smoke and moving around, and I'm starting to coalesce into people that I recognize who they are supposed to be.
Okay.
And so the first one is me envisioning us going to the Baron and offering him gold to turn over.
Oh, because you don't know. Well, you're not going to be able to, because you don't know what Baron Voudreau looks like. You don't know what Count Solero looks like.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of these faceless beings, I guess, that you're seeing at this point. You know?
Makes sense.
So what is the first question?
Is Count Solero willing to be... Is he bribable to... will he be willing to take gold in exchange for...
Count Solero or Baron Voudreau?
Baron Voudreau will he take gold in exchange for turning over Count Solero?
They twist and writhe. And what you see in the vision, and it's in that kind of like weird echoey way, so that you're not there, it's heard like something, "Get out of my court! Remove yourselves, vagrants!" Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay, and so I kind of like react to that a bit, and then I center myself and I focus again on the second question, which is imagining us entering his domain and by force removing Count Solero.
So you picture that of all of you sneaking through this tower surrounded by water. And you make your way into the room, and Solero is there working at a desk. And Solero, hearing the voice behind, turns and looks at you all. And there's a wry smile. You can't make out the features, but the evil, cruel smile. And you hear a voice, clear as bell this time. "There you are, little girl." And as he turns and rises up, there's one thing you realize. His face fades away. And he dissolves into hateful shadow. "There you are, girl." And I'm making some momentum spends here.
Okay.
Or momentum, some doom spends.
Yeah.
So I am making an attack against you, mental attack. Now, you?
And I've already taken 2 resolve damage from just casting the spell.
Okay. Now, is there any defense against mental attacks? I don't think there is there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not that I know.
So then it's a 1 I'm rolling against. Let's see here. I rolled pretty fucking bad though. 2, 3, 4. I got 4 successes. Do you have any courage?
I have 0 courage.
So this is all going on to damage then. So 4 plus. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eesh.
Oh, so before we do the damage, one thing you can spend momentum on is to gain morale for Courage Soak.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
If Aurelia knew that this was a possibility,
Yeah.
some of that 4 momentum before it goes back into the pool.
You could give yourself, give yourself 2 courage?
Yeah.
You get one per momentum.
Oh, so you give yourself up to 4 courage.
So, but I want to leave a little bit of momentum, so I'll have done 2.
2, okay. So that means you take in total, because I am spending to pierce then, you are taking 6 resolve, which means you take a trauma as well, too.
Right.
And you... What you guys see is she goes throwing back from this vision, but Aurelia, where you find yourself standing, you stagger back, you fall out of the tower, and somehow, impossibly, this is what you stand before now.
And I'm kind of like stumbling around, like I don't have my feet, and my head is killing me.
Oh god, and that mire. You're sinking into the mire.
Yep, it's everything that every nightmare I have ever imagined.
So you guys can hear her screaming, and she's trying to free herself. She's screaming at some unknown thing. And what you can see is the smoke that was drifting up from the brazier that she was burning. It's writhing around her neck, it seems. What do you guys do?
Nobody cares.
Kick the brazier.
Favor alert.
Kick the brazier away.
Eric can go for the brazier, and Varys will go for Aurelia.
Okay.
To put a hand on her shoulder and try to through some kind of human contact pull her out of the vision, basically.
Okay, so you grab her.
Just to point out, I had said earlier that I had a vision of being pulled down in the darkness and being pulled out by a phoenix.
Fucking nice one. So let's put 2 more momentum back into the momentum pool.
All right.
And
I'll make
Ale, you
pull
kick
it.
this thing
Actually,
over. Varus, you pull yourself back, and what do we see as you return? Now,
Yeah, I'm completely out of breath and like
to Bauska.
like I'm out of breath and looking around like, am I back? What's happening? And I look at my companions.
Forgive my ignorance. What skill do you use to treat the mental trauma?
Counsel.
Oh, counsel. Nice. Anyone else got counsel?
I happen to be very good at it, but
I think
can't help
Sargus has a
myself.
decent personality, actually.
You can also use discipline on yourself
Ooh.
if you're treating yourself. I don't know how you're
pretty
disciplined.
good. Oh, it's pretty good. I have a good discipline.
Okay.
The problem is that you're taking an extra step of penalty right now for your discipline test, so it's
That's
a little
true.
bit harder for you
Should
to
be
do it
2.
than for somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
So
have any counsel, but I do have a good personality.
We knew that, Jeff.
Yeah, we knew that. Jeff. What are your character?
Yeah.
So there is 4 momentum in the momentum pool right now.
Yeah. Does somebody else want to do it? If not, she'll like if she's not getting counsel, she will try to just master her discipline.
Aelric's like, what do we do? What do we do? He has no idea.
Sargus, you come from a land of spiders, shadows, and sorcery.
Right.
You definitely
So
would have
maybe
seen
I've
something like
got
this.
some idea about this. Yeah. So he comes over and he's he can see that she's been mentally injured basically, and maybe he even says like, what attacked you, and he sort of
Yeah. So then what we'll do
is
is
safe here with us.
let's try
that
and
kind of thing.
so let's do this. So you've got we'll narrate through what the consequence is once we see the dice result. So you are rolling 2 dice right now on counsel. There's 4 momentum in the momentum pool. If you want to add any dice from that, or you can also give me more
I'll
doom.
spend 3 of it.
I just spend a lot of it.
3 of our momentum.
Okay.
So I want to get this right.
Nice.
Fucking beautiful. So you can feed 2 back into the momentum pool.
Perfect. Yep.
And Aurelia. So what is it that Sargus says? Sargus the spider. What are his counseling words?
Excuse me. He says, "You're safe here with us. This thing can't get you here." And he's trying to. He's maybe even like secretly prying a little bit to get her to say what
Yeah.
what she saw. Right.
Yeah, well, it worked because I saw a towering structure of nightmare and I saw Solero. I saw him, and when he turned, he changed into a creature of shadow and darkness, a demon perhaps, or I know not what, but something from the outer dark for certain. We must be careful. He is not what he seems to be.
Do you
There's
think
no
he
wonder-
may be a demon in disguise, or do you think he's just seeking counsel with this demon?
No, something tells me that is why Mitra would have sent us here, that this is the darkness that he saw rising in the north in these lands. That would explain why our king would be under threat, for our king is powerful. Only something like a demon would be able to challenge him. I do not know, but that Demetrius would have understood the vision, but that is what I believe.
So with that, guys, we're half hour past our midway point. So what I'm thinking is, why don't we take our mid-session break right now? I'll go see what trouble that Anna's gotten up to, and then we will come back. And in our absence, think about what you guys want to do next, how you want to approach. You know now some more information on what won't work, and perhaps some other information that may be pertinent. Because tomorrow, when we get back, we will be traveling to Tereda.
Nice.
Okay, so back in a moment. We'll check in the chat as well too when we get back.
Cool.
All right, Anna's got her treats. I got some coffee. Let's check in with Shiat here. All right. Sean, what's shaking? Aaron, what's going on? Brian, welcome back. Welcome back. Theo, howdy. Conan the King's up. No, I think I can't remember. Is Conan the King out yet in PDF? If it is out in PDF, I haven't. I have all the books, and because from backing the Kickstarter, but I tend not to read them in PDF. I hate reading gaming products in PDF. So once it comes out in print, I'll be reading that, but not yet. Iwawa, what's going on? Nice. Yes. And Tychus says, I can't believe they got Jerome Flynn to play Elric. He does a lot for charity. No
Awesome,
doubt. Fred, what's going on? Let's see here. Drink every time anyone says Conan. You got it. And yes, Sean, Anna is assistant DM as always. Let's see here. Or test. Sounds like Doom. Exactly. Nice. Okay, and Toika says, good luck. Suso says, Doom! Character Doom, Suso says, character creation in The Witcher is so fun. Totally agree. I only generated one character, and it's ridiculously fun. More so, the thing that's really interesting about it is that it less informs the mechanics of your character and more just the story of your character, which I like a lot. You know, rather than having because with if you're rolling random character generation, you can end up with an interesting character if it generates the mechanics with some diverse abilities, but sometimes it also can mean a character that's not really good at anything. And I kind of like that they allow you to create a cool backstory while still, you know, not making the mechanical decisions for you. Awesome. Using Mithras rules. Cool. Lots of good chat. Swift is one of the action spends. Sean is co-DMing. Love it. Slay on, Dog Brothers. That's great. Okay, let's see here. Use Doom to disarm him. I want to tell you, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings here, guys, but it does appear that chat is on the DM side here, so I'm getting some pretty quality suggestions for Doom spends.
Great.
Oh, Arlen, you're muted right now. Sorry.
I was just saying, chat's always on the DM side. I mean, earlier today, Brian was talking about how sad he was that you couldn't make us roll con saves because I could purify our food and drink.
It's because of that con loss he had in the Dark Sun game. All right, guys. So you've had a chance to consider this.
We're not even near the end of the game yet, and we're already at 12 upvotes. Thanks, folks.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. So then, what are you guys going to do next then? You will have to travel to Tereda and meet with, or deal at least with Baron Voudreau. What are you guys thinking?
Do we know where this creepy tower is that you saw, Aurelia?
That was going to be my question. How far is Tereda from where we are? It's a day?
So Aurelia, you're the one who rolled it and saw, or rather, you're the one who saw this. So I'm going to let you make this roll. Why don't you give me a lore roll, please? The difficulty is going to be a little hard here.
Okay. Is this the same scene so we still have 3 momentum in the pool? Or
you do, yep.
Okay. I'm going to use 1 momentum.
Okay. So leaves 2 in there. Give me a roll 3. Do you want to give me Doom for the other 2?
No.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure you rolled a complication.
I rolled 2 complications.
Oh my god! I'm not going to do anything yet. I'll bank that as Doom.
I think I'm too messed up to give a straight in, but to understand anything.
Yeah, like you keep trying to coax your mind back to that, that scene, but your heart leaves you flying from it, so you just cannot get yourself to picture what it looks like. I'll tell you this, you will never mistake it for anything else. If you see this place, you will know.
Yeah, and that's as much as I'll be able to get out. It's like I'll know it when I see it.
Yep.
Elric asks Sargis, we've been up here for a little while. Have you heard of this place? Have you heard any whisperings of it?
Sargus,
Should I roll
you can
and
give
see
me...
if I
Yeah,
have?
yeah. I mean, you can give... let's see. Is it going to be lore? I don't want to keep dumping everything into lore. Let's see what lore says here. Lore says... The players are fucked. Well, that's weird they put that in there. Huh.
Well, it's true, though.
Yeah. No, okay, let's see
You
here.
just copied that out of chat. Come on.
So here's some cool stuff. If you you know, if you had things to, like equipment, like records and histories, or foreign language, you might have a those would reduce the difficulty of it. But I don't think you've got anything. So it's just a raw lore check
No.
here.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you could give me Doom as well too.
No.
Yeah.
Not
What-
for this.
There's ruins all over, you know, the northern regions here too, and in a place like the Border Kingdoms, it's so easy for land to just go completely forgotten by civilization for hundreds and hundreds of years, because people end up fighting over one specific type, patch of land or one specific pass or something like that, so they forget everything else that's happening, and it becomes it may be as primordial and untouched as the time when the Acheronians, claimed these lands. Perhaps even older.
So, show of hands, who knows what Solero actually looks like?
Now, Elric is minor nobility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Now, hold on. Let's talk about fortune.
Right. Right.
Can you spend fortune
Oh, yeah.
to... You can make a story declaration, introduce a fact, or
can.
add a detail to the current scene with the Game Master's approval. Anyone want to spend fortune to tell us how you've seen him? I'm on board
No
with
one
that.
else will. I will. But
Okay. So where is it you saw him?
oh, it's at court before he fled.
Okay.
It was maybe even like on King Conan's not his coronation, but one of his first kind of moments of taking power. And I kind of looked over the court and I spotted this guy, and I even maybe made eye contact with him and realized this guy, he doesn't believe in Conan. He's,
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Elric maybe asks out loud, has anyone ever seen him? Actually seen this guy? And Varus' eyes narrowed, just says what?
He says, I'll recognize it when I see him again.
Okay. So, what do you guys do next?
Should we head for Tereda?
We might as well. That's the only lead we have on where he might be. Unless.
Well, we have this one guy. What's his name? Elvis?
Yeah,
Helvis.
He had information for us.
Helvis,
Oh, right.
he's waiting for a bribe for you guys.
okay.
Then he'll tell you how to get to him.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out how to find Helvis.
Was
He
the,
was the.
He's the proprietor.
Bartender?
Yeah, you can find him very easily.
was the Jade
Okay.
Frog for Helvis?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So how do we do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
And
So-
Sargis, I think this is going to be your realm here. You and I, maybe we'll talk them over.
We'll make the exchange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we see then is after a shot of outside of your little hovel with the rain coming down, we will cut to you guys. Oh shit! Wrong thing.
Oh.
Oh my god! Doppelgangers.
Reinforcements.
Yeah.
Oh, Kev, you dummy.
Mirror image spell. What?
Yeah. Hit and paste instead of copy. Fucking dummy. All right, here we go. Let me bring you up to. So guys, we cut now to the gates of Tereda. So as you guys are riding up, it's as you see here. The rain is coming down again too. It seems to always rain in the Border Kingdom. you see there's a single guard standing outside here. Momentum pool goes down by 1 because we're transitioning scenes. So.
And Aurelia, your resolve comes back.
Yes.
Your wound doesn't get better, but the resolve comes back.
What happened with my wound? So it was healed. It's not.
You need to do
back to H?
downtime in order to actually heal it.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you take another wound, then your bandages are opened up and you're in really bad state. But until that point, you're still essentially able to function like normal.
Yeah.
So do I track it as a T? Is that
Treated, yeah. T is treated.
T is treated?
Yeah. Same thing with Aurelia's trauma or mental trauma.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, your resolve will be back up to 15.
Yeah.
So, as you guys ride up, tell me how this plays out as you approach the entrance there. The guard will sort of look over at you. The town looks like it's maybe a town of, I don't know, 150, 200 people. But it has high walls, which is not unusual for towns in the Border Kingdom. It also seems to be in pretty poor repair, which is also not unusual for the Border Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens?
Does he know we're coming? I just couldn't remember that.
Helvis does, yeah. Helvis knows you're coming. Baron Vudro, no.
Okay. And so, what was Helvis's position again?
Runs the tavern, local tavern.
Runs the tavern. Okay.
Yeah. He's a greedy dick who apparently knows a fair bit of what's going on here.
Okay.
Would we expect to be welcomed here or what? Like, not, warm
Yep.
welcome or anything, but like, we're okay. Yeah.
There's no reason for them to keep you out, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Elric
We
will-
just confidently stride in, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Who's so the guard looks over at the lot of you. He addresses the knight because he's the one who's the most conspicuous. Who goes there? What's your business in Tereda?
I am Sir Varus of Aquilonia, and I'm traveling through these lands.
Very well. And your companions?
Fellows Elric, and this one, he goes by many names, but we call him Sargi, and Aurelia.
Do you have any trade goods?
No trade goods, although we may have business with Baron Vudro.
Baron? And you can tell that there's something that goes over his face. You don't need to make a roll for this, but it seems like... did you... Were you expected by the Baron?
I don't believe so, but we may...
You may find your trip has been wasted then. Here. And he pulls open the door. Go on. And you guys trot in. So you make your way through town, and this place is a lot more orderly than what the other towns have been. This, honestly, it's not as nice, certainly, and it's not as well maintained, and it's raining a shit ton more here. But this is much closer to what you would expect from, say, a Brythunian town or, say, a border town in Aquilonia. This does not have the look of the ravages of war. This looks like a town that has been built organically over generation and generation and generation. So you make your way through. I mean, Sargus and Elric, you guys have been here before, so you know precisely the way to get to Helvis's tavern. And you come riding over, and you open as you guys ride up. The stable hand kind of comes out and takes the horses from you. And the stable hand looks and says, it's just, I'll take your horses, but I don't know if there's room in there.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, the Baron's second grandson was born. And he says that as if it means something to you. Sargus, you rolled 1 success before on your lore, and you seem to remember something about... There's something about the history of the Lords of Tereda, or the Barons of Tereda. You don't remember what it was? But there's something about the sons? I don't know. You may need to talk to someone else. You half remembered hearing something about that while you were asking around about this, but the stable boy takes your horses and brings them over, and you guys are free to enter into the tavern. Throwing the door open and making your way in, you find there are a bunch of townsfolk sitting around the tables, and like, you may be lucky to find a table to accommodate all 4 of you, because this place is full. But the thing is, the atmosphere that you walk into, having heard about the birth of the second grandson, this is not a celebratory atmosphere. What you walk into is more what you would expect from a wake. So they walk in, and people all kind of look back at you and are kind of confused by what they, what you see, but then they quickly sort of ignore you and go back to their work, or go back to their conversations. And you see Elric and Sargus behind the bar, just kind of sitting down and maybe reading something, and he looks up, and this is what he looks like, guys. An old man. Long, gray hair. And he sort of like, whistles. And Sargus and Elric, you look over, and he crooks this long finger with a long fingernail on the end for you to come over and join him.
We head over.
Okay.
Yeah, stride over.
He looks over at this young woman who has... looks like she is perhaps suffering from, a fatal case of boredom from standing behind. He spares a look, and he just says to her, "Wash the bar." And he gestures for you guys to join him. He brings you into a room in the back, and then through the room and downstairs. And he doesn't wait for you guys to, or he doesn't spare a look back to see if you're following him. And he goes down into the basement. I'm assuming you guys follow him?
Yep.
And that's where you die. So, Dave, I hope you enjoyed your game. No. So you guys head down there. And as you guys make your way into the basement, he sort of waits for everyone to get down. And who was the last person down, and did you close the door behind you?
Probably Varys, and yes.
Okay. So as the last of them get down, he's sitting on a cask of something, and he's eating an apple. And he takes another bite of the apple, and he's just looking at you guys. He's got the same sort of like hunched over, hooded eyes kind of look you can see in the illustration. And he looks over at he's studying Servaris and Aurelia. And he looks at Sargus and says, "Who are they then?"
Well, they're my companions that have brought your agreed upon fee. And then Sargus would pull out the jade toad.
So he, let's see, who wants to make an insight check here?
I'm not bad at that.
Okay. Let's give me a contested roll here. Let's see how sneaky this guy is. And
I'm also good at this.
You are? You want to? I think you know him better, so I feel like it makes sense for you to do it.
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to spend?
I'll give you a doom, just one.
Yes. And there's one momentum in the pool
Take the
too.
momentum.
Oh, and I'll
Yeah.
spend the momentum.
Okay, so you got 4. Hey,
Fine.
awesome.
Nice.
So that's 4 successes. So you beat him by one. You got 1 momentum left over. So what you could spend momentum for is to gain more information. I can tell you what you want, or you can dump it back in the pool. So let me tell you what you see. So you've dealt with this old, dog or old goat for a while now, and while he really tries to make, like, as you bring the thing over and he waits for you to open it and he looks at it, he's really trying to play it down. And I think Aelric and Servaris and Aurelia, like, this guy's looking at a fortune like it's like, maybe I'll take it, maybe I won't. We'll see. But Sargus, you see the little glint in his eye that he hides from the others, and you know damn well he's just like, he might as well be salivating. It's so clear to you how badly he wants this. Now, do you want to try and gather other information from that, or do you want to just dump that momentum back in the pool?
No, let's dump the momentum in case we need more rolls.
Okay, so that's back in the pool. So he sort of shrugs, takes another bite of his apple.
Okay,
There is problem.
What is that?
Baron's second grandson born.
What does that have to do with Count Solero?
The second sons. Second sons of Tereda. I thought you learned it. The barons. You've not heard the story. The doom of Turaida.
No, we have not.
Story
So Varys
says.
will kind of look over and flashes a look to Aurelia like, these fucking bumpkins, what did they believe?
Yeah, totally.
So, House of Tereda, hold these lands since dawn of time, since sons of Bori come to this realm. Only of all lands, all families fall. Only House of Tereda remain, year after year, century after century. Takes another bite of his apple. But some say there is cost they pay. When second grandson born to Baron die within week. Son become new Baron, wait for second grandson. So has it been in my father's time, and my father's father's time, and that beforehand. Back until the sons of Bori. And yesterday, second grandson born, Vigo they name, born to Trosvarius, his second son. Sorry, his first son.
So the Baron expects that he'll be dead within the week.
Yes. The doom of Tereda.
Why does this concern our hunt for Count Solero?
Moving pieces now. Baron Woodrow grant refuge to Count Solero. But son, Trosvarius, who knows? Bites again. Son Trosvarius may want no king in Aquilonia. He may want favor with him. Or he may want favor with Nemedia. Maybe send there. Or maybe new Baron have grand ideas. Support new friend. Cast out barbarian king. New friend king Aquillonia. And he shrugs. Town closed. Keep closed. But and he takes a bite. I may know where Baron go.
You may know, or you do know.
He shrugs. I may know. And you can read him like a book. Like, he for sure knows. He's just trying to get paid again.
So
Yeah.
weren't we paying him for the location of the account? Is that how this...
Yeah. Well, this jade frog may be worth more than we agreed upon.
Elvis may know more. May know what Baron's final days are. Final hours. And his eyes kind of dart down to the frog again and back up. Is good, yes?
Yeah, where did you guys say it was from?
Oh, he means the information. The jade egg is from Kitai, from a land far to the east.
It's a fair trade.
Okay. And his hands dart out, like not like violently, but just sort of like smoothly. She'll grab the thing and bring it close to him. He opens it up. Pretty frogs. And he closes it again, and it disappears into his robe. Another bite of the apple, the seemingly unending apple. And he says then, what few know, Baron of Tereda, in final days, he and heir travel to the Southern Valley. And I think you know, Sargus, from what we rolled before. You're familiar with the Southern Valley is the part of this whole land here, the lands that make up Turaida. There is a road that goes in here, but it's pretty much surrounded by hills that are very. You can get through them, but it's not easy going. And then there is one valley that is sort of adjoins a river that is flooded. And it's not flooded like a lake. It's just that it's like a mire.
Okay.
So it's tricky going. You can't really grow anything of value there. So it's sort of this abandoned area.
And that's where they've traveled to?
Yes, says Helvis.
And what of Count Solero? He is with them?
Councilero, I know not. But if you wish to speak to Baron, two barons travel alone. Baron who was, and Baron who will be.
Well, then we shall make haste to find them.
2 days you have. 2 days. Then they go. Always. 2 barons go. 1 baron returns. Final bite of his apple. He tosses the core on the ground. I have rooms for you. And he holds up the box. And he says, you still pay. And he gestures for you guys to come out.
Okay.
So, if you have any other questions for Helvis, I think he will help you. He will answer those questions as well, too, in the same dickish, obtuse manner that he has been. You also will have 2 days of sort of like fussing around in Tereda. So if you want to ask anyone or you want to try and explore anything, you also have an opportunity to talk to each other and plan.
Might
So
be- Go ahead.
Varys wants to ask Aurelia about this valley, if that has anything to do with her vision, in her opinion.
I did not see a valley per se. I saw a great keep of darkness and shadow. Possibly it was within a valley, but I could not be certain. But something tells me that these things are all intertwined. But perhaps you can ask if someone around this town, I guess, for lack of a better word, has heard of a keep of some description in that valley.
Yeah, we could probably just ask Helvis. Is there a keep or a fortress or something in the Sodden Valley?
No one goes there. The Southern Valley goes nowhere, comes from nowhere. There is nothing there. No one goes there. It is
where are these two barons going to? A specific location within the valley?
a business best not inquired.
Do they have a retinue? Is there, are they traveling with others?
No. One baron to be.
It's going to be difficult to find them in the midst of an entire valley, unless this valley is more contained than I'm guessing. Is this a large area?
He looks over at Sargus. You know how to follow, yes?
I do.
So follow.
I mean, it seems this is the only information we've been provided that will allow us to find the Baron. The question is, do we need to look for him in order to find Solero? Should we question those who perhaps...
Solero? Solero not seen.
Mm-hmm. How do you know how long?
Solero not seen since arrive.
Haha.
He looks over at
And
Sargus. He says, he know of Solero because Helvis know. Wouldn't surprise, just from your note of Court Elric, like if this guy's hiding out, it's not surprising that he wouldn't be like farting around trying to cause trouble. If he's genuinely trying to hide, you know, if he's trying to build support, then he would want to be out and trying to be seen and stuff like that. But it's not. I don't think the Publius was able to tell you whether he fled with money or not, because that's really the thing that would also help drive his support.
But if what Aurelia saw in her vision was Solero and some kind of path with a demon or something,
Yeah.
He might not need to be out in the open. He'd probably prefer not to be.
He seemed to be in some kind of study of some kind. Writing, I believe.
Writing?
Yeah, that is what I recall. That was difficult. I don't wish to see it again in my mind.
Totally fair.
Is there someone we perhaps can bribe who works for the Baron, who can tell us if Solero is within his... I'm assuming there's some kind of keep or something here in Tereda where,
Yeah. You know what you do is, if... I think a persuade check what I'd let you do is use persuade to try to model the sort of asking around and trying to noodle around, talking to the folks who work in the castle or around the castle, trying to help. Because this is not the keep is actually not part of this. It's actually separate. Let me show you what the approach to the keep is like. This is Baron Voudreau's keep.
Oh, cool.
I could try to persuade some people with fantastic personality.
Yeah, sure. You want
Excellent.
to? Now, the way I'm trying to think here, the way that because there is such a thing as aiding another in this, and I think it's that you what is it? You need to have a point in it in order to contribute a dice to the max of 5 that can be rolled.
That sounds right.
Yes, that sounds right.
Okay.
I actually don't have any skill in persuade.
Okay.
Who
I
has?
do.
I do.
But Elric is like, he wants
Eric
to try
really
and,
wants to be helpful in front of Aurelia.
Yeah.
I think he's no, he wants to use some connections, or he'll even go sneaking around to try and figure it out if we have to figure out something.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like both Sargus and
here's something you could do. You know what?
Are skilled. Mm-hmm.
If you want, this is what you got fortune points for. If you want to spend, I don't care what the rules as written say. If you want to spend a point of fortune, you know what? Aid another allows you to exceed the 5. I remember because that's the only way you can exceed the 5. Because when I ran it, I gave everyone 5 d20s, and I told them you'll never need another. The only time you'll be rolling more is if you're taking one from your dice pool to roll it. So you guys can actually exceed 5 if you want on this sort of investigation. So, Dave, what I was going to say for you, though, is that if you want to spend a fortune, remember one of the uses of fortune is to act as if you rolled a 1 on a success. You can do that on an aid another check, too, which would contribute 2 successes to the... Or no, 1 because you're not trained in it, but 1 to the overall thing automatically without having to roll.
Right. I'm also thinking, tying in the area, and this used to be part of ancient Acheron, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so I just happen to have some ancient bloodline.
Really?
And so I was thinking that, tying that into maybe this ancient bloodline that has been living here and surviving for centuries.
Interestingly enough, so does Aurelia.
Yep.
Oh.
Both the Aquilonians and the Brythunians, sons and daughters of Bori as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. So yeah. I'll let you.
So you're hitting on your cousin.
So let's do this. So first off, who's going to be the primary rolling on this? And this is going to be like a montage. In the fiction of this, we see this as a montage of you guys trying to do things. Do not feel you're restricted to your the persuade skill. If you can give a good convincing way of how something else might help aid with that, I'm willing to let you make the 1 dice roll for that too.
Well, I'm actually thinking I'm going to duck out and try and find a way to get Aurelia in front of somebody to persuade. So first we need to find who that person is. Okay. And I'm going to go sneaking around and talking to contacts that would otherwise not impress Cerberus. Okay. And
so what are you thinking? What dice? What skill are you thinking?
I'm not stealing anything, am I? No. Or stealthing?
I think it might...
More like an insight roll? No.
What is your personality? Look at that big smile.
He looks like a balding old man, right?
That's a good look.
Wow, that's some awesome hair.
Yeah. Well, he's a guy. He has COVID hair. He has not had a haircut.
Yeah, I hear that.
That's awesome. Just gotta get a little gel in that. You can get like a cute unicorn spike.
Yep. Yeah. So what? I'm
thinking it's going to be observation. I'm going to be sneaking around, hiding in shadows, and trying to observe conversations and relationships. But I'm also looking for someone who I think Aurelia would need to talk to.
Okay. How's your insight compared to your observation?
Insight's a 0 and observation is a 1. So
Okay. The reason I ask is because you're not just trying to see if people are talking, you're trying to judge the value of the person to speak to, which strikes me more as insight than it does perception, as opposed to the last one, which was more perception rather than insight, right?
Yeah.
So, either of those, I'm okay with. Give us a 1d20 roll. Tell us if you get under. And then what? I'm assuming you're not being the primary on this roll.
No, I'm going to assist on the persuasion.
So you guys can contribute momentum. You cannot contribute successes. So whoever the primary is going to have to get a success on this. But let's see if you get momentum here. So go ahead.
Just rolling a d20?
Yes, please. And you want to roll your insight score. Nice.
Awesome.
So we got 1 momentum so far. Sargus, Cerberus, and Aurelia. Which of you is going to be the primary on this? I'm trying to ferret out information here.
Well, let's let Aurelia be the primary on this one.
Okay.
Because we're trying to offer, honey, not blood.
Okay. So then, Cerberus and Sargus, do you want to try and aid on this? And if so, how are you thinking that's going to happen?
So I'm wondering if once we find this person that we want to talk to, Varys just sort of being there with like a hand on Aurelia's shoulder might be a pretty convincing image without doing a whole lot by himself, just as a kind of like, yes, she's kind of small and dainty, but we've got steel to back things up if something goes wrong.
So is it more of a tough thing, or is it more the presence of a noble knight that you're thinking?
I was thinking more tough because that seems like what they would respect here.
Okay. So that strikes me as a persuade then.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Sure. Give us a persuade roll. Let's see how much momentum. We got 1 so far.
Persuade roll of 1 die.
Nice.
I got 1.
That's 2. Sargus, are you going to try to help? And if so, how are you thinking you're going to do that?
I think that I would also try to help with persuasion.
Okay.
Like, I think a little bit of it might even just be my reputation around here.
Absolutely.
As sort of a dangerous character,
Also someone who pays for money, or pays for information as well, too. So give us a one roll for persuasion.
So you just roll 1 dice.
Just 1 dice, yeah. And also remember, you can re-roll any persuade roll because of your, whatever it is, your talent. So that's 3 momentum. So, Aurelia, let's talk about what you're going to do. There is currently 1 dice in the momentum pool. You seem like you're the primary on this, so you got 2 dice so far, and you've generated at least 3 momentum, but what you can still add up to 3 other dice to your pool. You could add 1 for the momentum pool and give you 2 doom, or you can just roll 2, and what are you thinking here?
So we have 1 total in momentum pool right now?
Yeah, 1 in the pool.
Yeah, 1 in the pool, and if you're successful, you're going to have 3 momentum on top of whatever you roll.
Yeah. I think I'll use the one. I have an ancient bloodline, yeah, Agalonia.
So doesn't that also mean you must give up a doom and take an extra d20 on a personality check?
That's only if it's something to do with where it's like a foe of your thing. Now, Acheron, if Acheron does play into this whatsoever, they are not fans of the sons and daughters of Bori. The sons and daughters of Bori burned Acheron to the ground.
Well, and that's what I'm wondering is if this bloodline that we're dealing with is a bloodline of potentially from Ancient Acheron, this curse.
I'm telling you that it won't for this particular thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I think I should use that momentum.
Okay.
In the pool. So that gives me that's 2 plus 1, that's 3 to start with, and then the others have generated 3 total.
Yep.
If you're successful, you get extra momentum momentum because of our successes.
Yeah. On top of whatever momentum you get as well, too.
Yeah, so I'm just... I think I'll add 1 doom, so I'll be rolling 4 dice.
Yes. Doom. Okay.
And then I think I'll make my roll here, my persuade roll.
Okay.
So here we go.
Go. Nice. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
So 4 successes. That means the difficulty, I was going to set it at 2, because it is, a closed-off castle and whatnot. That means you have a total 5 momentum to spend.
Nice.
So you have made contact with someone. This is we'll say it's someone who... Well, what do you guys think? Who do you think it's going to be? Some like minor person who works maybe a guard in the keep or something like that?
Yeah, maybe it's a guard in the keep who, I don't know if this would work based on where they are, but potentially secretly is a follower of Mitra.
Sure. Yeah, I buy that. So it's a man named Armans. Okay. I'll put it in chat for you. So why don't you... here's the first bit of information you get, and then you can spend momentum as you choose. So you got 5 momentum right now. So what he tells you is that obviously the mood in the keep is pretty... And where do you think this scene is happening? Where do you think you're talking to this guy? Is it in Helvis's basement, or is it... somewhere else in town? I'll bring you back to town because
that seems like the safest place.
Okay, so you're talking to him, and Helvis is in the corner. Look at that, he's got another apple again. So he's listening in on everything because that's the price of Helvis letting you use this place. He gets to overhear this too. Armans tells you that the son, Drosvaris, seems angry about something. And I mean, the death of a father is tough, but in this family, as soon as a wife becomes pregnant, here's the thing with this family. The first 2 children that the eldest son has are always boys, and there's always 2. Not twins, but like when they're... And when the second son is brought to term, within a week, the Baron is dead, and a new Baron assumes control of Tereda. Thus it has been forever. So, Drosvaris knows as soon as his wife, Mariana, became pregnant, he knew this was coming. He knew what the outcome was. But something has upset him. Five momentum. Do you have any questions you wish to ask?
I think so. I mean, I think everybody is able to ask, right? And we're all kind of here together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess does it look like he's reluctant to give us information? So he may have more information than he's revealing. Okay. So do you know what specifically upset him?
He had a conversation with his father. And what I heard is that after the conversation, he came storming out and has been in a mood ever since.
Did you hear what this conversation was pertaining to?
I did not.
Is there when these barons in history travel to this valley, are they going to a specific...
He looks, he's what? How did you... And he looks over at Helvis, and Helvis winks at him. Takes another bite of the apple.
Did they go to a specific location within that valley?
I don't know. I know the Baron and his son. They go, and then only the son returns. We think there is a tomb.
Interesting. That makes sense.
We might want to ask about Count Solero, like if he's in the keep or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like that's a good thing to ask a guardsman. So Varys will pipe up. Count Solero, the Aquilonian refugee, is he in the keep?
He is.
Can you tell us? Should we ask?
Well, I think the last question probably should be something related to what is with relationship or opinions about Solero from the Sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
If this guy knows anything about that, to figure out kind of whether the Sun is going to give up Solero.
That's a good
So,
question.
What is the Sun's opinion of Solero? Make it open-ended so we can try and get more info.
Yeah.
What is the son's opinion of Solero?
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you heard of the Sun's opinion of Solero?
Favorable. They saw no strife between Solero and Drosvaris. And to help with it here, guys, this is...
That means
You haven't met him yet, but this is... There you go. Drosvaris.
We don't have much time if we want to get Solero.
Yeah, sounds like we need to get to Voudreau before he passes, or do something impressive to get Drosvaris to be on our side. Like if there's a demon waiting for him out in the swamps and we can kill it or something like that. I don't know. Who knows what's gonna happen?
It might be on the
All right. That's it with this guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He sort of looks over at Helvis and says, I need to go. And Helvis sort of looks over at you guys. Now, what you could do, you could spend more doom to ask more questions.
That might be worth doing.
Might be worth
It
doing.
might be worth dooming.
Yeah.
we could ask about Voudra's opinion of Solero to figure out if that's even a viable.
Yeah.
How would one get Solero?
Yeah, that's another good question.
Doom. He shrugs his shoulders. I'm a guard.
What would be the easiest way to get to Solero if you had to?
Can't plan it for you guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Where is he held? Where is he kept?
He probably doesn't like. I mean, he might know where he's kept, but he probably doesn't have a.
That might. He might have an answer for that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Are you asking that?
Yeah, I think we should ask him that.
Yeah. Where's Solero kept the keep?
Doom.
Hmm.
He says, yes, the tower, the easternmost tower. He has taken up residence there. Any more questions?
Should we ask him if there's a basically the means of entering that tower? If there's
Well, that seems like the sort of thing Helvis might know instead. That we don't. Right, the guard isn't going to know about secret entrances, but Helvis might know if there's like a secret entrance to the tower.
I even meant just like regular entrances.
Oh, regular entrances.
Yeah.
But the keep is totally closed right now, right? Until the new Baron comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Until they depart.
Until they depart.
This is happening. Yeah, this is one day. Tomorrow is when they depart.
And then the
Okay.
keep will be open again?
Yes,
Okay.
but if everything goes according to plan, there will be a new Baron then.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, I guess what I'm wondering is there a time between when the old Baron and the new Baron leave and the new Baron comes back where the keep is not occupied by a Baron essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So we're clear on that. So do we want to ask about the relationship with Voudreaux, and do we want to ask about like hidden entrances or regular entrances or how to get to the tower? Those seem like the two obvious things.
I guess the thing about Voudreaux is probably a good thing to know. I mean, this ends in a tragedy, so we might as well. The doom pool is so huge.
The doom pool is currently sitting at 16.
Yeah.
Oh, crank it up, guys. Ask more questions.
Absolutely. I've had it in the 30s
it's
before,
not,
so come
that's
on.
not too bad.
Yeah.
All right. What is Baron Voudreaux's opinion of Count Solero?
He likewise supports him.
Yeah.
He took him in. They seem very friendly, and they seem like they have plans.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
This is where we need to intercede.
Yeah.
Do you have any other
So
questions?
what do you want to do?
for,
Should we
Armin?
Break in?
Well, I think we should ask him if he knows of any secret ways in. He probably doesn't, but just to... We don't want to find out later that we could have asked him.
Yeah.
You know? So Aurelia, not really being, understanding a lot of this, says, is there any ways to enter this tower secretly so we would not be detected?
Dave, what does it say on that? Right behind you, there's a box. I think it says Doom. What?
Definitely do.
What he knows that he's not sure. They're
Yeah.
not aware of any. There may be. They don't know about it.
Okay. Do we have any other questions, or is that all we have of him? Yeah, no, we're done.
Okay.
I think that's it.
So he leaves.
may
So
leave
then,
us.
guys, what is the plan here?
Barons leave. We sneak in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Somehow sneak in.
kidnap the count out of the castle while the barons aren't there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
let's do it.
So we will cut to now. Are there any? Tell me quickly about sort of how this is going to play out. Like we don't need to. I just want to get a rough idea of what if there's going to be some dice rolls. What we'll do. We're transitioning scenes, so the momentum pool goes down by 1.
Yeah, it was at 0 anyway.
Oh, is it 0? Okay, so it's at nothing.
Helvis will apply Helvis for a little more information on supplies going in and out of the keep and stuff that they would probably be waiting on delivery or something because the keep's been closed, so they'll need foodstuffs and stuff. Maybe we'll.
You have gold.
I have gold.
So if one more gold down, and yeah, he's absolutely going to give you what other information. He's already
Okay.
given you the information before about the Barons leaving. That's paid for, as far as
Yep.
he's concerned.
So he wants.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem. So we're about. I think we're getting pretty close to.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
making sure.
To
Okay.
our doom.
So what? Yeah, so he's going to ratchet up. What time do you like? What's the hard stop for you, Jeff?
Oh, I don't.
Like, is-
I probably have to leave like 10 after 6 or something.
Okay, so then we'll try and get. I'll kill Sargus very, very quickly. No, we'll try and make good use of our last like 20 minutes here. So, what is the sort of plan here, guys, for how you're gonna sneak in here? Now, the town itself is, like I said, all walled in, and then separately there's a thing that leads out to where the keep is. So there is a haze that hangs around there, and it's a tidal kind of pool around there too. So it fills up and will go down again throughout the the evening and day, and it is pretty battered down on the one side. So, what's sort of the plan here?
And is that
So I'm
tower that we
thinking-
see? Sorry, Arlen, go ahead.
Well, what I was going to suggest is that Varys and Aurelia, because they're clearly from Aquilonia, could pretend to be other Aquilonian renegades who are here to speak to Solero. And if they know that the Baron has plans for Solero, they might just say, "Okay, yeah, you can go talk to him." If we're like, "Yeah, King Conan kicked us out, and so we're here to figure out what the response is."
Okay.
That's kind of my first idea.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
You mean
Sargus
after
and
the Barons leave? What I mean, like, what are you doing up until the point? How are you knowing when the Barons leave? Are you just trusting that
Can we
his
just
information?
keep watch?
You can
Like,
definitely
have
keep watch.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So let's do this, guys. Let's have. I think Sargus is the best one at hiding. Is anyone else? Does anyone else have stealth? Have points in stealth?
Yep. I might be noble, but
No. So Elric, you give me a D20 roll.
I have points in stealth.
Yeah. So give me a D20 roll and see if you tell me if you succeed. And then Sargus, you take the lead on this one.
Okay.
Ooh.
I don't think it's success.
Nope. Okay, so Sargus, you got no momentum coming from Aelric. This is just going to set to make sure that you guys aren't spotted before, while you're keeping watch here. You have 2 dice. Do you want to spend any extras?
Doom.
Yeah, let's add Doom.
Yeah.
Yep.
All the Doom.
and also we shouldn't forget, given the amount of time we have multiple fortune points as well. that
You could
give
spend fortune
automatic-
points also instead of buying Doom.
Oh, I see.
How many fortune points do we have?
We each have 3.
Except for Varus, because
Mars only has 1 left.
Yeah.
But he only needs
And how many dice did it give me?
it
You
counts.
get
It gives you one.
automatic.
Yeah, 1 dice. It counts as if it's part of the 5 that you can possibly roll, but it counts as if you rolled a 1 on it, which means if you're trained, it's an automatic crit. So you get 2 successes for the price of 1.
So instead of rolling, I
Wow.
could use the fortune point,
Yes, you can.
and then I have 2 slots in stealth. So does that matter?
That means it would be a crit. Well, it's treated as if you rolled a 1, so long as you've got some training in it, then
Okay,
it
yeah.
counts as a success, or a crit rather. So it'd be 2. If you want to do that, Dave, retroactively, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, let's do that. And I have 3 points in total.
So there's 2
Yeah, so you're
momentum.
down to 2.
Yeah, 3 points. So yeah, down to 2. So you got 2 momentum with this. Jeff, you want
So
to
then
spend?
I can roll 4 dice then, right?
Yeah, you can roll 4 dice and spend a fortune, which would give you. So you got 2 successes already with it, and then go ahead and
Yeah.
roll your 4 dice. And let's see what else you get. Holy
Oh,
shit!
nice.
That's 1, 2, so 3 more. You only needed 2 to keep hidden. That's 2 plus 2 plus 2. You got 4 momentum right now in the momentum pool.
Awesome.
And guys, here's what you see. Some of the guards later in the as the sort of the evening, the night is falling. You see 2 guards bring out horses to the side of the keep, and we then see 2 robed figures make their way out. One of those definitely is Baron Voudreau. Bigger, he's just got the stockier build of an aging man. He hops up on his mount. The other one hops on the mount. They both turn and look at each other. They nod, and they start riding away.
And I would have described Solero to Sargis just in case
Yep.
they try to pull something funny.
Well, here's what happens. Cloak falls down as they ride off. Varus, Count Solero is with him instead of his son. They're riding off. What do you guys do?
After them, let's go get our horses.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys
Yeah.
race and get your horses. Anyone tracking is what? Survival in this, or is there a tracking skill? Can't remember.
It's survival.
Survival. Anyone got training in survival?
I have 1 point, yeah.
Okay.
I've got
do.
a little bit.
I have 1
Okay.
as well.
Nice. So do you guys want to aid?
Yeah,
the-
I'll do an A.
The best thing about aiding is that there's a chance of a complication.
That's true.
Who's the best? Who wants to be the lead on tracking?
Yeah, and this is all part of the same scene, so you guys have 4 momentum.
So does that mean who's got the highest awareness?
Who's got good awareness and high track and high survival, basically?
I have 7 in awareness and 1 survive.
And I have 12 and 1.
Okay, then Sargis should lead. Varys and Elric will help.
Okay.
So just a D20 or
Just a one
You just roll 1d20, yeah.
1d20. Yeah. Nothing from me.
Okay. So nothing from you. Who else is aiding here?
Elric.
Elric, 14. Is that good enough?
that has to be under, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So then, Sargus, I guess you're taking lead here. You have no momentum coming in, but you did 4 in the pool.
Yeah, I'll use 3 of it.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
So you got 1 left in the pool. So go ahead and roll 5. Nice. You only need 1 to follow this, so there's 2 momentum back in the pool, or you can get more information here. To be honest, actually, there's no other information once you dump it back in the pool. So
Yeah,
it should be
cool.
3 a momentum pool right now.
All right.
So you guys begin the panicked ride through the this trying to catch up with them. They must have had at least a 20-minute, maybe half-hour lead on you guys, and they were riding at a good clip when they left. You find yourself following along the rough and the oh, someone's alarm going off.
I'm muted. Not me.
Is it me? Oh, it's my. Give me a second here. 1 sec.
What's the plan, boys? Do we just try to get Solera right now before they get to wherever they're going?
Yeah, because it's going to be really bad whenever he gets to where he's going.
Yeah.
Oh man.
George, I think you're muted.
Can
Sorry.
animal handling help push?
My son's gone riding in the mountains with some buddies today too, and forgot to turn his fucking alarm off. So,
This is what time.
and I don't know how to add. I don't know how to end the damn thing. So like yesterday, I ended up burying it under all his clothes. I'm like, fuck it, I'll let him deal with it afterwards. But forgot to mention anything. This is what you have to look forward to, George. This is
Yeah.
the being the parent of an adult. Oh
Yeah.
God. Okay, so the so you guys are riding along, and at first, what is rough, jagged hillsides that look like they have not seen or been exposed to civilization in thousands of years. You then find yourself riding out into this totally flooded and dead forest. It's not so soaked that like you're sinking in, but there's maybe 1 or 2 times when one of you guys, and you can tell me who, is riding along and their horse begins to sink in. You have to sort of like back out, and there's all sorts of sinkholes throughout this whole region. And as
I
you're
think
riding,
me because I don't know what I'm not good at riding horse. Like
awesome. Okay. And you kind of catch it. You continue the ride on, and as you ride, you find that there are mists rising up too that are obscuring your vision. Aurelia, it may not be a surprise for you to learn that there is a rising anxiety and a sense of familiarity that come hand in hand. And as
I sense the outer dark. Be wary.
And as you guys are riding along, suddenly, out of nowhere, you ride out into an open plain. And this stands before you.
I'm staggered for a second, and I kind of rear back on the horse.
Would you give me a... let's see here. I think I'm going to get you to give a discipline check. Yeah. Give me... I'm going to set this at a 4. And whatever below you roll is how much resolve you take. When you should be at... Sorry, let me... You're at full resolve right now. Let me just...
Correct.
Boom, put you back. Oh, that's the... Sorry, apparently I took the broken one. Sorry. Give yourself... So start yourself off at full, and then...
Yeah.
All right, so momentum pool is 3 in it.
Sorry. Whoops. I accidentally grabbed myself instead of clicking the thing. I'll fix the resolve in a second. I'm going to take the 3 momentum.
Okay.
And make my roll here.
You are the chosen of Mitra.
That is true.
Oh!
Complication, though.
Love it. So you come riding up, and you remember the ancestral enemy thing that we talked about, the lineage of this?
Yeah.
You begin speaking in a voice that is definitely not your own. And what you say, she sort of stops, and all of you guys, looking back, can see that she has stopped where she's riding, and she's looking up, and she seems like her eyes fixed on this thing, and then her eyes blink, and it's completely opaque, and you can hear a voice. Is it one? It may be 100 voices. And what she says: Tarthusis, Scourge of Croton, Master of Isdanis, Tyrant of the Purple Towers. Aurelia, you may not recognize this yourself, but in your blood, you know this. This is a wretched remnant of fallen Acheron. So what do you guys do in response to her channeling her ancestors?
So I think Varys kind of turns his gesture and he reaches over and grabs the reins of her horse and to kind of keep it under control, right? Because I'm imagining that it doesn't like this craziness going on.
It's actually remarkably. It has. I mean, all your horses, nostrils have been flared, foaming at the mouth as they're getting in here. They're very unhappy. Her horse right now, with her determination, calm as if it was in its stable.
Okay. Then I think my hand goes kind of onto her shoulder instead, and kind of the same grip that you've seen before, and kind of squeezes for a second. Of course, it's this heavy gauntleted hand. It's too strong for the reasonable,
so,
but
it's Aurelia. You do a double blink, and you are back.
Yeah.
You weren't afraid of this at all.
And Varys says, Mitra will be pleased by the end of this day.
Yes, he will.
And
What was that about Purple Towers? And Elric tries to repeat some of the things she said.
Sure. Anyone can give me a lore check then. You're free to spend. There's 3 points of momentum left. No, there's no momentum now. Yeah, so you can give me Doom if you want to add to that too.
Or use one of your fortune points.
Or fortune.
Or fortune point,
point.
and roll,
I'll use a fortune point and just make a regular 2 dice roll.
Let's see here.
So I got 1.
3 points.
3, yeah.
This speaks of. I think this is just something that you've as like an ancestral memory in the way that Howardian heroes kind of can do that. What you're speaking of, Tarthusis is one of the sorcerer tyrants of the age of the Acheronian Empire. Lost to time until his kingdom to the stone was apparently dragged down by the sons and daughters of Bori. If this is his... Is it Isdaris? With its purple towers? Here, it's grime and grit that have stained these things. But is it possible that under there are the glittering purple sinister spires of ancient Acheron?
Acheronian deviltry ahead.
So what do you guys do next?
We must stop them before they get inside.
I think Varys will, pulls out a lance, kind of waves it, the pennant with Mitra's symbol on it, flapping in the wind, and he shouts, Aquilonia and Mitra, forward! And he's basically trying to rally the troops. And
Sure.
Let's go.
All right, so I think we cut to like an overhead shot of one of those walkways or gangplanks or whatever, and we see all four of you riding into here, following the tracks of what you've seen before. Sargus can see this. You reach the entrance, and you can see that there is a crumpled form right near, and next to that, countless skeletons. You realize, as you look around, the ceiling is gone, and almost none of the walls remain. This must once have been a sanctum or temple of some kind. And of these bones, they stretch back hundreds, if not thousands of years, based on their status, and the body that's fallen, you turn it over, it's the body of Count Solero.
Huh.
Oh.
Is it clear how he died?
Who turned over the body?
I'll say it was me.
Love it. So you turn it over, Alaric, and everyone's kind of, wow. And then you hear from somewhere off in the darkness, inside this, you hear a voice that you recognize, Aurelia. You have come, son of Bori, daughter of Bori, to die. And you see a booted figure begins walking towards you. And as it comes into the light, you see Count Solero. But the cruel and ancient eyes that sit in the skull, you can tell the single word escapes your lips, Aurelia. Tarthusis. And he steps out. Your king would, as a northerner, sit on my throne? I will take his place. I will rule Aquilonia. I will conquer Nemedia, and all of these lands will fly the banner of Acheron again. And you can see shadows begin swirling around him. And you can see people stepping out of them too. Vague, shadowy forms. One of which is the Baron Voudreau. And another, Count Solero. And each of these faces that appear, you can see the family resemblance of Voudreau. Going back hundreds and hundreds of years, evidence of the continuing crime of Tarthusis. Guys, Tarthusis fades until you see only his shadow remaining. But his shadow has ill intent. Gentlemen, what are you doing? First thing, I get to make a terror attack against you all. So, let's do this. I need everybody. Oh, no, everyone's not defending. Shoot, there's no defense against this. Am I wrong about this? Is there?
I don't think there is a defense for mental attacks. That's part of why it's so...
So if it's an instant...
Yeah.
If you can... I wonder if you can give me Doom to try and gain courage.
Yeah, let's look at what the courage... it's repeatable, but not immediate.
Okay.
So it's not a thing that we can spend Doom on to just...
Okay, so then Let's see here. All right. So I'm gonna roll his. I'm gonna spend 3 doom on this because we're gonna make this interesting.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Jack up his thing here. Oh, I gotta spend more doom. I rolled a nat 20. Clearly, this is. Oh, and I think I have to spend extra doom because of your lineage as well too. So 1, 2, 3, only 3 successes. So I'm gonna dump that directly into damage. Let's see what happens here. So all of you guys take 2, 4, 5, 6 points of what do you call it? Resolve, and you each suffer a trauma. You can feel.
Varys has 2 courage soak because of his special armor. Because with plate armor, you just feel better than everybody else. So he doesn't actually take a trauma. He only takes 4.
Awesome. That's fantastic. All right. So then, guys, this that was just something that his very presence brings on you. Guys, you guys get to go first unless I spend doom.
Yep.
And I am not right now. So, what are you guys doing?
Freaking out.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to, like, I know this is the battle that I was meant to be tested by. So I am going to stand my ground, and I have that staff like in the picture with the owl.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna the phoenix. I'm gonna hold it forth toward the. I'm trying to catch any glint of light or anything that would make it like glow in some way.
Yeah.
You will be destroyed.
Now everyone's sitting on a lot of fortune points.
Yep, I'm spending a fortune point.
Awesome.
Yes. And I'm doing a steely glare.
Okay.
We have no momentum, so am I right?
I don't think so. No.
I just used it. I just used it all.
So you can still give me 2 doom if you want.
Yeah. Sure.
Doom it.
So I'll give you 2 doom. I'll give you 2 doom. So I'm gonna roll 4 dice, and I'll have the 1 automatic crit.
2 automatic. Yeah, successes in addition.
Okay. So go ahead.
Yeesh.
More complication.
Complication, and 3 successes total.
Shit! But the thing is that you are currently suffering 2 traumas, aren't you?
1 because we. Oh, yes, that's right. Because it. Yeah, you're right. Yep. You're right.
So the difficulty 3, and you got 3 successes.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, and another complication. I think that here's what happens with that doom. The thing you guys rode in on begins crumbling away. Your horses rear up and run back. You have no escape.
Yeah, I think this is exactly appropriate to who she
Absolutely.
is. And the fact that she has no power to overcome this thing.
Oh yeah, her voice wavers like as if she was a child. Go ahead and give us damage on your Steely Glare.
Alrighty. There it is. Here we go.
Yikes.
Gosh.
Yikers.
It wasn't helpful.
Not helpful at all. So you say this, and it kind of laughs. You will die. I am going to spend doom.
This seems appropriate.
To go next here. And this thing is going to... let's see here. Surge in and try and tear at Aurelia. Really doesn't like you very much. I'm spending some doom to get a boost here.
That makes sense.
Do you wish... now, do you have any defenses right now?
No.
Okay, that means... so... You could parry, possibly.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll use my staff. Basically,
it gives me 1 doom, I think, because the staff does not give. I don't think it has a parry rating.
It's not even on here. Only my dagger is listed here, so I would have to look that up. But that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see here. Then, would you kindly go ahead and give me your roll? I'll make mine. And you can give me
I'm
Doom if you want to. Fuck, I just rolled another 20. This is a game where the 20s do not work in my favor.
Play more
That's
Conan.
Yeah, exactly.
Says
why I
Barrel's
chose Conan.
always on the receiving end of
Yeah.
the nat 20s.
I got 5 successes in total.
Holy Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I gotta. All right, I have one
Go ahead and make your parry.
fortune
Now-
point left, so I'm gonna use one fortune point.
Nice. Okay, so you got
I have
2.
to.
That means I only got 3, so you need to get 3 successes.
Yeah. So I will then
Give me Doom.
spend. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give you Doom, so I can give you 2 Doom, right? And I give you the
Yes.
5 dice total.
More Doom.
So I'm rolling 4, and I have an automatic crit on
Okay.
the 5th.
So you need to get 3 successes.
Oh, Jesus.
So close. All right. Unfortunately, it does connect, but you have reduced my momentum. So I've only got 1 momentum right now, which I'm going to dump right into damage.
Yeah. Makes
And
sense.
you roll damage here. 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage.
Okay. Well, that's could have been worse.
Oh, sorry, 5 points of damage. So you do suffer a wound.
It is.
Sorry. I forgot the +1 from the momentum spend. And it's vicious, so make that
excellent.
6.
Okay. So
Okay.
let me wound myself.
So this thing comes in and it seems as if the winds themselves, like the diaphanous fumes that makes up this ancient Acheronian sorcerer, are tearing into her flesh. She's screaming in pain. Who wants to go next?
I think it breaks her staff.
Do you want,
Yeah.
Jeff, do you
Oh,
want to
she's
go next and then drop out? Since you're
Sure.
at time.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go soon.
So you want to... what are you doing?
Draw my knife and attempt to stab at
Okay.
this specter.
So, you're currently at 2. Do you want to spend any... Doom?
Wait. No, I won't leave the guys with extra doom.
Fortune points, Doom.
Fortune point.
Yeah.
Spend the fortune point.
Yeah, I will spend
Yeah.
the fortune point though.
Okay.
100%.
It's okay to throw some
Uh,
Doom. Jeff, you're leaving. Like, what's the matter? Like,
All right, sure. Dave wants extra doom. Doom
Okay.
it up.
Nice.
Doom, Doom.
So that's 2 doom then, because
2
one
doom?
of
Yep,
the
I'll
fortune
take it.
makes
Yeah.
the
Doom.
automatic
Yep.
success.
Okay, so...
Oh, so that is
Nice. Oh,
6
shit, I should have... I
successes?
forgot to... I didn't spend anything on defenses, so it's going to let you hit him. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Find out if knives can actually hurt him.
It's 3... Oh, and it's 1 special, so that's 3, 4. That is 5 damage. So you tear at this thing. It's like putting a dagger through water and catching a tiny bit of seaweed. Hits him for sure. Barely hits him and barely affects him. Now, I'm spending 2 doom because I'm going to do something. Now, Jeff. Is Sargus someone that you would want to play again?
I mean, potentially, but it's not a big deal. I'm not too worried about it.
So let me, and that makes my decision easy. This thing turns towards you, and its eyes, like, it spins with hate, just a fucking ball of hatred. Its eyes flare, and they hit you right in the eyes. And let me make a check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It's 4. You take 7 resolve. Which means you take another 2 trauma as well too. You are near collapse right now.
I have 0 left.
Right, so what happens is 0 and you were pushed below that, which means you take another harm. So you got 2 trauma, and then also I rolled over 5, so you take 1 more. You have 3 trauma right now. If you have 4, your character goes irretrievably insane. So I think what's happened is Sargus drops down and is just kind of like gibbering and like,
Screaming.
yeah. And
I love it.
last thing, why don't you tell us this, because I know you got a book. What is the nightmare that Sargus finds himself trapped in? Is it a pit of spiders?
Yeah, maybe, eh? And each one seems to be, got the little, if you zoom in, their little faces are like sort of all the people that he's crossed or lied to or stolen from.
Fantastic. No. So Sargus is out for the duration of the fight right now. So then, Jeffy, thank you so much for playing today.
Yeah, it was a blast. And good luck, guys. I hope you take it out.
Okay.
Probably watch it.
See you, Jeff.
Who wants to go next, guys?
All right. Jeff generated up 5 momentum for us.
Nice.
So, Elric, do you want to go, or you want me to take a swing at this thing?
No, you can go ahead.
All right. So, I'm going to spend 1 fortune and 2 momentum to bring the pool down to 3, to be rolling 4 dice with 2 automatic successes with a melee attack against this thing.
Okay, here we go. And I am going to defend. Wait, let me spend my momentum. I'm going to defend.
Okay.
Because I'm a dick. And he's evil. Let's spend momentum to get... momentum. Doom! To get ourselves a better defense here. Sorry, now you can go ahead and make your roll. I won't look until I make my roll. Let's see here.
All right. I have 6 successes.
1, 2... Another 20. Bleeding doom here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 successes for me.
All right. So I have 2 momentum generated plus the attack. I'm going to spend both of them on penetration.
Excellent. Okay.
And then I'm going to roll my sword.
Okay.
No modifier to damage dice.
Okay. Am I correct in thinking that you have, as a good Aquilonian, and in imitation of your king, or I mean, that wouldn't be much later, is there the symbol of Mitra on your sword?
Oh yeah, there's the pommel has the phoenix on it, and
Okay.
we see it kind of glint in the light, and Varys shouts, "Mitra's light never wavers," as he strikes against this thing.
Nice. And Aurelia, though you're staggering back trying to recover from these wounds, you spare a look over, and that phoenix at the end of his sword, it seems to be blazing to your eyes. Okay. Let's see here. That is 6. And I guess it's not vicious, right?
Because I can do that. One of the ones that didn't do anything, I rerolled 1 with no mercy.
Got it. Okay, sweet. That means it's an extra 1, 2, 3. So that's 9 damage on this thing.
And it ignores 4 points of soak.
Fantastic. Oh, man. That is really, really good. So, I think what happens is this strike up and through this thing, that crown that's on its head breaks, and one of the spires go off, and it kind of... and it's definitely going to spend Doom to make another attack on you, Varys.
But this is where, having fought on the same battlefield with Varys in the past,
Yep.
that Alaric gets to intercede because he sees an almost exact same scenario imposing where an enemy is about to attack Varys, and he kicks one of the skulls, and that skull goes flying straight towards the smoke demon or whatever, and tries to distract it.
So I'll give you 2 momentum on your parry check here, Varys.
All right, so I'm going to spend 1 more to get all 5 dice. And that leaves with 2 in the pool. Okay,
excellent. So let's see here. I have spent all my stuff to jack my dice pool up. Another 20. Guys, this is the worst game ever. All right, so
back for my complication.
I only got 4 successes.
I only got 3 successes.
That means I hit. Yeah. And a complication, which jacking up that doom pool. Can't spend that doom pool to do anything right now, but I get to do damage though. All right. Yeah. So 1 momentum is going to be to pierce.
Yep.
So let's see here.
Hey, Kev,
yeah.
As a reaction, how does it work to defend somebody?
You can't really jump in and try and defend against this thing after the fact. It's when the attack is declared that reactions have to be declared. And I don't know if what I'd probably rule is if you did want to try and like jump in and try and shield someone, you're either going to get an aid where you roll 1 dice and that adds momentum to their pool, or what you would do is just you would make the defense instead of them, and I'd raise the difficulty by 1.
Okay.
Okay. 6, 7, 8 points of damage and ignores 2 points of armor.
2 points of armor. Okay.
Sorry, 10 points because it's vicious.
10 points because it's vicious.
Yeah.
So I take 8.
So you get a wound.
But I took 1 wound.
And I think it scratches across your face. All right. So Varus has gone. Aurelia has gone. Alric, what are you doing?
He is going to try and strike out at the creature.
You are going to get, because of your the ancient bloodline, this is an enemy that your forefathers going back 100 generations broke down once. They shattered every single one of these sorcerers. They cast them into the hinterlands, these blasted lands where no one would live. And this thing, if it thinks it can cling to the world built by the sons of Bori, he is mistaken. You get 2 momentum from that.
Sweet.
So, what do you do, Elric?
I'm going to attack melee.
Yep.
And I'm going to use a fortune point.
Okay.
And how much momentum is in? Okay, so I'm getting 2 momentum already.
So
yep.
That brings me to what? 4 dice?
That's 3 dice. That's your extra 3 dice right there. So you got
Okay.
5 dice in total. And I am defending, but unfortunately because my doom pool is so shit right now, I can barely do it. So
So I'm at
Dave,
5 dice.
do you want me to roll first so I can tell you how many you need to beat?
Sure.
Okay. I got 3 successes. So you need 3. You got 2 already from your fortune point. You just need 1 more.
Did it get wounded by my attack? Because if so, all of its tests are 1 more difficult.
It is, but it's undead, so it ignores that.
It ignores that. Oh, damn.
Yeah. So, it is 1 step towards being dissipated, though.
Part of why Arlen and George are here, because they know all the rules and I have no idea.
No, Arlen is the.
Okay, so Elric, you are now rolling 4 dice.
Oh.
Okay, so actually, I will. Well,
yeah,
we'll ignore one of them. That is 5 successes. That means it is 4 more than what you needed.
Sweet.
This thing, when you saw Sargis's Ganada knife go into him, this thing seems very hard to hurt. So you may want to follow Servarus's lead and use some.
Using some piercing or
penetrating.
penetration.
So you have 4 momentum. What are you spending it on?
2 penetration. Or
Okay. So it means
each one worth 4.
ignores 2 points of armor.
2. So 2 penetrations, 4 soak ignored.
Yep.
4 soak ignored.
Yep.
And then, and I'm not even touching the momentum pool yet. I'm still using my.
Well, remember you can't draw from the momentum pool to add into effects. I
know. So these are just from my 4 successes above.
Yeah, from what you rolled, exactly.
Okay, so then the rest I'll go into damage.
Nice. Okay, so you're going to add +2 to whatever your result is here. Go ahead and make your damage roll. That's 6, 7, 8 damage.
Oh,
2 specials. Wow.
Aelric, tell me what it feels like to send an Acheronian sorcerer screaming back to hell.
awesome.
Well, it's funny that earlier I was asking about the ancient bloodline thing, because I think this is that time where, being a son of Bori, it just kind of like flows up through me, and I saw what Cerberus did, and just, the sword going into the creature, it's like there's this metaphysical power flowing through the sword as it contacts, and I'm not even sure how that happened, and it just like slices through, and you can see this like the blade parting the smoke and the smoke not coming back together.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it disappears. And there's silence for a moment. And then Aurelia, you can see in place of those blackened faces, those blackened forms, now white figures stand. There's 100 generations of the map barons of Tereda who stand here, back to the line of Bori, back to the son of Bori who first cast these towers down. They stand, and you and Aelric can both see this. They stand in salute to you. And that's when you hear the first stone fall.
Run.
So you all have to make a leap across. Everyone give me a, let's see here. What is it, athletics?
Athletics or maybe acrobatics, depending on what you have.
I think
in mind.
athletics is when you're not like trying to be maneuverable, you're just trying to get distance out of it. So I think that's,
Yep.
I'd rule it's athletics. Everyone give me an athletics check, please.
Alright, I'm giving you 3 doom.
Got it.
Because I suck at this.
Yeah.
If you
Yep.
still have a
Yeah. You leap across. Wow, that distance. So I need athletics checks from Aelric and...
I'm gonna use the 2 momentum in the pool if that's all right, Dave.
Yep.
Because I'm also because I'm wounded,
Oh,
and
yeah.
my heavy armor makes it really hard because I have a.
Whoa.
I still have 1 fortune point left. Can I use it for that?
Yeah. 'Cause you could gain a momentum then, and what I'd say is that Aelric and Aurelia jump across, Servaris jumps across, and then you start like, oh shit, and the two of you kind of grab him and pull him up. The horses rear up.
I also have strong back, so I get a bonus.
Here's the
success on
thing.
athletics.
Okay, so you guys get across, and then you start mounting up, and then you spare a look back, and you realize that Sargus is still in the corner. This would be a trifling leap with a horse and a fortune point.
Yeah. Can I? Well, I'm pretty good at riding a horse. Am
You
I?
can try.
Or we're,
Anyone
we
else
got
have
the
a-
horses back?
Anyone else
Yeah,
have a
man.
fortune point left?
I'm born in the saddle, and I've
Oh, even better.
Yeah. So Aelric, you leap up onto this thing. You leap, and this is your comrade in arms. You leap across with your horse. The ruins of Estaris falling around you. You throw him up on the horse. He grabs onto you. You leap across, and then all of you go riding away. And as you guys, we see once again this vision. The whole thing is collapsing back down into the mire, swallowed by the tides of this flooded forest and the mists of history.
Nice.
Awesome.
And I think that is where we will end our session.
Awesome.
So,
Great.
guys, now what did I call this one again? I called it
The Sons of Turaida.
The Sons of Tereda. So, congratulations on reaching the end of the Sons of Tereda, guys.
Awesome.
So, let's see. We'll get...
We even all survived, sort of.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly.
we'll get started.
Everybody will
back,
be better
uh,
eventually. Just a little bit of PTSD and some scarring.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, where do our adventures ride to next? We'll have to see. So,
Yeah.
first off, I want to give once again a huge, huge thank you to Dave for his enormous generosity in making this session possible. So, Dave, thank you.
That's awesome.
Thanks, everybody. This was a ton of fun, and as soon as actually, it was probably even last year. I was like, okay, next year when I donate I've got to play Conan again.
It's a terrific game. Like it's it's fun for those listening at home. We talked about the game before we ran, and we kept talking. I kept saying, but there's a lot of crunchy bits. There's a lot of stuff that's moving around, and blah blah blah. When the rubber meets the road, it's a fucking fun game.
Yeah.
Definitely suits that.
And so good for the Howardian kind of style of storytelling. Like, yes, it takes a little while to parry every thrust and that sort of thing, but it really feels like that kind of, Conan narrowly dodges out of the way and then riposts and gets him in the throat and all of that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. Well, the way you got to structure, like, the violence has a purpose in Conan. It always drives story forward. There isn't anything. There's very little fat on Howard's stories, and it's good to bear that in mind for when you're designing for this game, because it can really bog down if what you're doing is just a slog with it, like where it's just a combat with no purpose. That's just to try and have a combat. So I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It has always been one of my since I started running it, one of my favorites, and I clearly forgot about that. So Dave, thank you for the reminder.
Well, the Doom Pool is a fantastic option because the characters know throughout the entire session, oh yeah, we gave them more Doom. Oh, we gave them more Doom. Oh, it's going to get really bad near the end. Like, it's going to be...
Yeah.
If we're going to fight some monster and it's going to be doing all sorts of crazy legendary type stuff. So... Yeah,
I think on that end, the one thing that our camera last rests on is after everything settles down, after all our heroes go away, there is still a blackened crown in the swamp. Because I had Doom to spend anyway. So, all right. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this very special one-shot. We hope you've enjoyed our return to the Hyborian Age. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, well, it's not a campaign, the session, the game, anything like that, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. If you enjoyed it, please consider putting a thumbs up on it, and you might want to consider hitting subscribe, because we run games all the time on the channel with these same fine folks as well. And if you do want to be reminded when we are going live, click on the bell icon and it will tell you when we're going live. In addition, this game session was made possible by Dave's generous donation to the Heroes Save Villages campaign, the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. And from now until September 1st, for every $25 donated, you get one chance to win one of the many cool prizes we have in our annual charity raffle. The grand prize is a copy of the Beetle and Grimm Gold Edition Rising from the Last War, Eberron Rising from the Last War. This amazing box set, some cool D&D content in it. But if you don't win that, you still have a chance of winning other cool stuff like 2 copies of the Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerers of Hyperborea Core Rulebook. There's a chainmail dice bag made by our resident armorsmith, Dave. Very much like mine. There is, some OSR zines. There's a ton of great prizes. Some rewards from the Dungeon Musings Redbubble store as well, too. So lots of great stuff. And all donations go directly to SOS Children's Villages International, a really terrific organization active in over 130 countries that benefits over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. And once again, Dave, I know we keep showering you with thanks, but thank you so much for your donation that made this one possible. That is all the money that, as you know, all money donated to the charity goes directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to any middleman. None of it goes to the channel. It all just goes to help out those kids. So, last thing I'll say is, George, Arlen, and Jeffrey, who had to leave early, you guys, thank you so much for playing in this session.
Super fun. Thanks.
Yeah, it was great. Ton of fun. Thanks for inviting us, Dave. It's these special sessions are always super fun, and this was equal to the high bar that has been set by those charity sessions.
Fantastic. All right. So then, for those listening at home, thank you again for joining us. We do hope that you enjoyed our return to the Hyborian Age. As is always the case, as is always the case, I'm getting back to the start of the outro, guys. You're going through it again. Oh no, that's what I spent my Doom on. Just kidding. If you are happening to listen to this during the current quarantine crisis, the COVID-19 crisis, we do hope that this finds you healthy, safe, and weathering the current crisis as well as can be expected. We hope that we've given you a couple hours to take your mind off of the troubles of the world and think about the troubles our heroes are getting themselves into, like picking a fight with a 1,000-year-old sorcerer. Crazy, guys. And until we see you again, happy gaming.